It's a time for war. AOZ, yeah. What's going on? I got straps, son. At the gap, son. OZ. It's a time for war. Hey yo, your son is up on the plate. Told you don't be late. What about the gate? 10 o'clock in the morning, that's early, son. Why you come so early with the sun out? Yeah, you must be dumb, stupid juice. Come at night so I can fight you loose. We ain't get to worry about feds turning up, cause I surely trust you'll be dead. When I'm done, jump on the head top. Make sure everybody don't go for cop. Only people outside at night are the ones that are willing to come and fight, yo. Come and fight, yo. Moving so right, yo. You be on the internet all the time, yo. Talking out loud and proud and coming out in the day and out and shouting. What's going on, though? Are we really gonna go stand toe to toe? Or you wanna keep talking on the radio? I mean, YouTube streets, you know how it go. I suggest that you take it slow. We are old folks. I was supposed to be promoting, showing people that we don't do this dumb thing. But if you wanna come out on that front thing, ZX wants that beef, so we say, and he wants that beef. All this talking on the YouTube goddamn streets, and they live on the same goddamn street. Might as well go out for a meet and greet, have something to eat, some fun and treats. But they don't wanna do that, I don't know why. They wanna act like they're so goddamn fly. I guess get interesting. You better come with your bulletproof vest and show relaxing, stressing. I feel God has blessed me. I will surely take out the belly. One shot straight into the head, that's the head top. Make sure you drop and hot stop. Yeah, and your heart stop. Don't bother come around talking that shit no more. Sitting on these YouTube streets trying to settle the score. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, everybody's talking loud. How about you go outside and stand your ground, and throw on down.
7DS, Demigod.
Time to get up. Time to get up. Time to get up. You're late for work. Late for work. Wake up, baby. Wake up, baby. Yo, you're late for work. Late. Did you really think I'm gonna let you just lay down and sleep while I must go to work and you can chill? Never that. I'm not take the blue pill. Get up right now, ow. Get up and get up right now, ow. Because it's late for work. Late for work. How you feeling? Hope that you're not feeling sick. If you feel like that, let me know when I call your workplace and make them know you ain't coming in today, so you can chill and rest on. How you feeling? Come on and get up out the bed, cause you're late for work. Wake up, come on, wake up, because you're late for work. Oh, I got to go, and you're moving real slow. Is you okay? Is you feeling terrible? Let me know. I don't want you to get get into trouble, should I just now call or get up, get up, get ready and fix your makeup, leave out, quick, because you're late for work, late. So I've gotta leave out right now, but you late for work, ooh, late for work, yeah, yo, better get up and go, oh, get up and go, oh, get up and go, I'm about to go and drop the kids to school, because you late for work, well, I see you later on, baby, I hope that you get to work, baby.
7DS, Demigod. Demigod.
You know what I like about beats like this? It makes me feel calm and just say some stupid random shit, man. I'm just gonna go with whatever, man. Hey yo, I feel so sexy, yo. Yeah, I feel so. When I look into the mirror, I say to myself that I'm sexy. When I take a good damn look at myself, I feel sexy. Don't you love yourself in good health? Oh, well, come on, yeah. Sometimes I look into the mirror and I think to myself, I'm sexy. Sometimes I look into the mirror and I say to myself, I'm sexy. Don't you too, yeah, yo, don't you, yeah. Even though I got a big foot, I'm still kinda sexy, yeah. Even though my belly hangs, I'm still kinda sexy, yeah. Even though I've got some headlights, I'm still kinda sexy, yeah. And even though my toes are crooked, I'm still kinda sexy, yeah. Sometimes I look into the mirror and think to myself that I'm sexy. Sometimes I look into the mirror and say to myself that I'm sexy. Don't you too. Sometimes you look into the mirror and say to yourself that you're sexy, yeah. Even though I got a 3D back, and my head's like, oh my God, it's got so many curves in it. It kind of hurts in me when I weigh up, but I'm sexy, yeah. But I'm sexy with my back face, but I'm sexy, yeah. But I'm sexy with my big nose. But I'm sexy, yeah, yo. But I'm sexy with my double chin. But I'm sexy. But I'm sexy, yeah, yo. Sometimes when I wake up, I feel so good. I'm just gonna have me a very good day, yo. Yeah. Feel sexy, don't you too? Don't you? Gotta love yourself and have a goddamn good day. If you love yourself, yeah, and don't feel any way what anybody tells you, but you know you feel sexy. People gonna come and hate on you.
Will never die.
Cause you look sexy, say yeah yo, hey yeah yo, hey yeah, look. looking good.
7DS, Demigod.
That's enough music for a minute. Blessings. How y'all doing? Enough love to the real, to the fake. What towards the gate? How you doing though? Yeah, man. Like I've just come to kill some time on wine. I'm just rolling something up now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? You know what I could have done? Downloaded some videos for y'all. That's what I should have done. I still could do that, I guess. Yeah, I could do that. In fact, give me a second. Let me put on another song. I'm gonna get some videos because I've got a lot of content. I've got a lot of little, the little clips, some crazy. You know what? Actually, pause. Let me stop. Do you know every time I do that shit and show y'all shit, I get a flag from YouTube every single time. YouTube not demonetized it. What's it called? When they age restricted and shit. Every single time, I get. You know what? Fuck YouTube. Let's go. Give me a second. Let me get you some of this content we've got in the back. Give me 1 second.
7DS, Demigod.
Man in this relationship as I am and take a stand. You see, I ain't going through no more of your bullshit. You new era bitches are so weak and shit. Don't wanna cook, don't wanna listen, no time to understand. Just wanna sell ya pum nani. Nah, not for me, that's just balmy. Not gonna keep it under side team army. No, go over that way, please. One from me. I'm told especially. Now gotta make those moves. Show her that I'm that dude. Ain't no dumb business going on around here. Making sure when she sees me, she cries tears. Yeah, she knows she gon' live in fear. Everybody around her looking down at her. She knows what she did. The type of bitch that would run with the kid. The type of bitch that would talk that shit. Caught up a fed. Make sure that you're dead. Put money on your head. What for dread? Cause she likes to suck dick and not. Told her she can't do that around me, you know. You're supposed to be my baby. You be moving so goddamn shady. Take a little trip and go relax, yo. Think about your life and where it's going. If you can't do that properly, then I can't even stop for you. Happening softly. Nah, go back way, body. That's all you is to me, man. Not even number one. Somewhere in the center. For real though. I'm keeping it legit though. Making sure she knows though. When I come around though, she gon' feel the flow though. Oh, yeah, young. But a real man gonna take up for this shit no more. Delusional people, man. Show them where the door is. Yeah.
7DS, Demigod.
I bet y'all wondering if that's a true story or not. I ain't gonna tell y'all. But anyway, so I've just downloaded these 3 videos. I don't know what's on them. Let's check them out.
Pay attention and listen because there are a ton of hidden messages in the El Salvador president's speech. Look.
For instance, the financial situation of the United States. When I talk to my conservative friends right here, they always tell me that the problem is high taxes. But they're wrong. Of course, high taxes are extremely high here in the United States. I give you that. You're right in that. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is not the high taxes themselves, but the fact that they are not even really funding the government. But even those high taxes, higher than a lot of places in the world, but even those taxes are really funding the government. So who's financing the government? Government is financed by treasury bonds. paper. And who buys the treasury bonds? Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money. But what backing does the Fed have for that money being printed? The treasury bonds themselves. So basically, you finance the government by printing money out of thin air. Someone could ask, well, so if the government can print unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, why did they collect taxes? I mean, in theory, it would make sense, right? If they can print unlimited amounts of money, why would they need taxes for? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not. It's shocking, but it's true. The government is funded by money printing. Paper backed with paper. A bubble that will inevitably burst. The situation is even worse than it seems, because if most Americans and the rest of the world were to become aware of this farce, confidence in your currency would be lost, the dollar will fall, and the Western civilization with it. If the next president of the United States doesn't make the necessary policies and structural changes, sooner or later that bubble will burst. There's still time. You don't have to make the same mistakes we did in the 60s and the 70s. You can still jump before the water boils.
Crazy. First time I listened to that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't make the mistake, innit? I mean, what could we say? Like, I mean, let me actually try and speak on that for a second. I'm sure a lot of people know what's going on. You know, a lot of people choose to be silent. You know, so get what you dished out. If you're silent, seriously, you get me. The silence is a go ahead for them. It's an answer yes for them. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't know. That's a hard one to even say because that's government shit. You know, they can push it in if they want to. Not, you understand? Pushing the rule, the law, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. But at the end of the day, I've said it a million times. If people stand to that shit will crumble. Simple. I've said that. People are fooled to think, oh, we got no say. No, we got all the say. You're just thinking that. Anyway, next video. Delete that.
You can't put shit away, right?
No one can't say there's no such thing as the motherfuckers, right? There's too much evidence, and after what you just seen, then you know the shit's real. You understand? You know the shit's real. You get me? For anybody that never thought that shit was real, then you need to go and take several seats. You understand? But I've also got another hypothesis. You know what I'm saying? Is that the right word? I've got another hypothesis about that shit. You understand? Get me? But I won't get into that because that's a bit deep. So I won't get into that. Anyway, next one.
The darkest secret about your favorite foods.
The processed food industry was created by the cigarette industry. People don't know this, but in 1990, the three largest processed food companies were cigarette companies: Philip Morris, R.J. Reynolds, and others. Still to this day, Philip Morris owns Kraft. Most of the companies were spun out in the 1990s, but cigarette companies literally took their scientists, as cigarette companies were declining, and put them over to food companies to make the food more addictive. And all those thousands of ingredients that we have in our food are made to addict our children. It's hijacking our biology and our understanding of like what we're eating. You don't binge on natural food because our bodies are made over thousands of years to be with this food. Yeah. But processed food is not natural. It's hijacking our biology.
It's crazy. Growing up, those foods we used to eat don't even hit the same no more. And it's because our tolerance for all these artificial ingredients actually went up, so we have to eat more to get the same satisfaction we used to get when we was little. And the off-brand snacks don't even taste that bad. They actually taste how your favorite brand's supposed to taste, but your favorite brand laces it with this to make it taste better. That page came from my book.
Let me tell a story, right? And I swear I noticed this. Like favorite foods and stuff growing up. Let's talk about like fries, as Americans would call it, or chips in the UK, like fish and chip shops back in the day. Now I noticed something. Even Kellogg's cornflakes, I noticed the change in the taste. I noticed, and this was many moons ago. I was a kid, right? I'll go back to the chip shop example in a minute. But Kellogg's cornflakes, I remember the change, and I said to myself, "Why is it changed?" I think I said it to my mum. I said, "How come the taste of this is different now? It don't taste the same as it's supposed to." And my mum must have turned around and said, "Maybe they changed the fat or the oil or something like that." So anyway, I've just kind of just left it as it is, and then later on down the line, like the chip shop example I was about to give you. That came across, right, where the chips tasted different. Like there was something special about this shop, right, and the chips tasted fantastic. You don't understand how beautiful, the food tastes in this shop. It tasted beautiful. You don't understand. It was, I used to go in there and praise them for it. You understand, like for real. They had a lot of customers, and then one day it tasted different. And I'm like, how come you think this? I asked them, I said, how come you don't taste the same no more? And they said, we've changed the fat and the blah, 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 blah. Now, this is my question, right? Why would you do that? If you've got a brand, if you've created a style, a recipe, right, and it's bringing everybody in, do you understand? And then you go and change it. Do you understand? That just completely lost my interest. But anyway, that video. Oh, sorry, someone's in the back, Tom. Anyway, that video just explains what they've done to they've mutated it, put garbage into it. So we're just trying to chase that same. Wow, that's deep. If you don't mind, Tom, let me just play that video one more time. So I haven't heard this. Let me just play it one more time.
The darkest secret about your favorite foods.
The processed food industry was created by the cigarette industry. People don't know this, but in 1990, the three largest processed food companies were cigarette companies: Philip Morris, R.J. Reynolds, and others. Still to this day, Philip Morris owns Kraft. Most of the companies were spun out in the 1990s, but cigarette companies literally took their scientists, as cigarette companies were declining, and put them over to food companies to make the food more addictive. And all those thousands of ingredients that we have in our food are made to addict our children. It's hijacking our biology and our understanding of like what we're eating. You don't binge on natural food because our bodies are made over thousands of years to be with this food. Yeah. But processed food is not natural. It's hijacking our biology.
It's crazy. Growing up, those foods we used to eat don't even hit the same no more. And it's because our tolerance for all these artificial ingredients actually went up, so we have to eat more to get the same satisfaction we used to get when we was little. And the off-brand snacks don't even taste that bad. They actually taste how your favorite brand's supposed to taste, but your favorite brand laces it with this to make it taste better. That page came from my book.
That's crazy, And I used to disrespect the off-brand. I used to say to people, why do y'all go to the duty-free? Why do you buy the cheap version when you can go straight to Kellogg's cornflakes and buy the Kellogg? I used to always say that. You know what I'm saying? But I even noticed that the taste had changed because they were fucking with it. the most popular things, they fuck with it because it would affect the people more. I didn't know that as a kid though. How you doing though, Tom? You okay?
I'm doing good. It's funny you should mention that about taste. Since I had COVID, I lost my sense of taste, so I can't actually taste anything now.
Really, listen, I need you to do me a favor, Tom. Stay away from that completely now. No matter what. I don't care if they threaten to lose your job and they say you need to take another injection. Don't do it. All right.
No,
Don't.
I'm not. No,
Okay.
I won't. But yeah, I've had no sense of taste
Yeah.
since 2020.
So your taste doesn't come back at all?
No, it hasn't come back at all.
That's crazy, that is. That's crazy.
One
So
have to get my
and you
husband
can't
to
even
taste it.
complain because even though they've admitted it, it's made in a lab, isn't it? So you might be able to get compensation.
Well, I think that's just one of the side effects that people went through. I mean, before the vaccine, I'm talking about the actual illness itself.
Okay. No. Yeah, but see, once you had the vaccine, that's when you start to have problems with taste and stuff.
No,
So that's
when I got the big C, that's one of the reasons how they knew I had it.
Oh, okay.
Because you lose your sense of smell, you lose your sense of taste, and all the other things. It was just like a really bad version of flu.
So you can't smell nothing.
No, I can smell, but I can't taste anything.
Okay.
So nothing tastes. It's just like.
So your husband can stick his finger in his ass and put it in your mouth, and you wouldn't know that you can't taste it. Like
I would be able to smell that.
see, I don't understand how far this level goes of taste and smell.
Well, when you lose a sense, your other senses become much stronger.
Okay.
So, if you lose like your sight, they say your hearing becomes better, or if you used your sense of taste, then your sense of smell becomes much, much keener.
And what about if you lose your hair?
Then your nose gets bigger.
No. You must have a big nose in it.
But God, I sent you a video today. I was just messing around on TikTok, and I heard, and I looked into it. A church in Mexico is selling land in heaven. Like people are buying up land in heaven.
Well, I've got one that was bigger than that. I've got a bigger shocker than that. I've got a video. I don't know if I got it right now, but I know I saved it on IG for sure. But I've got a video of a church. I don't know if it's in Africa or in America. I think it's Africa. And the women are coming up to the priest or whatever his name is. Get me? And he's putting his hands down their pants. They're rumbling around and they go, oh, and he's pulling out rabbits. He pulled out a rabbit, he pulled out a hedgehog out of the woman's breast, a skunk out of the woman's breast, and he pulled out a rabbit out of the woman's punani area. I swear to God. And you see him do it. I've got the video. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
What kind of what does this even mean?
And you animal farm is this?
Oh my God! And the black women are like, oh, while he's got his hands in their chest, like rubbing it around. He's rubbing it around and I swear, watch. You know what?
Listen, churches are just the biggest robbers going.
I don't know how people fall for it though and go there.
Let me tell you something about a local church. Right, I park in this. Like, my son's opened up a barbershop, okay? And near his barbershop, the only place to park is the parking that's on the grounds of a church. And you can park on it. You can, you're allowed to park. You get a ticket and you park. But I didn't bother to get a ticket. I just go and park there. When I see a space, I just park in it.
Yeah.
Right? They don't patrol it or anything. Oh, my God. I got a parking ticket. They got, like, secret cameras. Right? Right? So I got a parking ticket, and I said, "No, I'm not paying it. It's a church. A church can't make you pay a parking ticket. It's a church. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a sanctuary, a place of God, place of love, forgiveness."
No. The government controls churches now. Remember, churches used to be singular thing back in the day, but then the government controlled them all. They get paid from governments now, and donations from the people.
And now they're they're saying, sending me letters, if you don't pay the parking ticket, we're going to get bailiffs. What kind
Right.
of church sends you to a bailiff?
No, it's not that. You got to understand. It's the people. You see them car park people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's them. So they've just had a little contract with the church.
No, it's a private company, but obviously they've
Right.
got cameras that are hidden. But the point
Right,
is this,
private. See, sorry, you can carry on, but like you said, it's private. So you're right in saying, how come that's there? Because it's private. That's a setup. He's organized that, or the government organized it.
but it's the church's land. How can the church
They work for the
be sending
government.
me bailiffs? And I'm just thinking, I should go to that church on Sunday, right? And complain and call them out for not being holy or caring about people. If they're going to pursue me for money, they're going to pursue me for money for parking on their land, which is got a car park, which you're allowed to park in.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the government changed the rules, man. I really wouldn't be surprised. You need to look that up, you know.
I'm not paying it.
You need to look it up. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not paying any bailiff charges. It's gone from £60
be surprised.
to like £370. It's like, go suck an egg. I'm not paying that. It's a church.
Hold on, I'm just going to refresh my thing. Carry on talking, though.
Scandalous. See how the churches in 2024 are still robbing people blind. The church is just a scandalous environment. It's a scandalous institution. They use their place, you know, of being next to God to exploit the people. You know, it's like, do you know what? I need to have a conversation with God, like a real serious conversation with God, because God's name has been taken in vain in so many different ways. You know, in God's name, that, you know, the Muslims are fighting people. In God's name, the Jews are fighting people. In God's name, you know, people in Palestine are being killed. In God's name, people in Africa are being killed. In God's name, the Americans have put "In God We Trust" on the back of their banknotes. You know, it's like, for a man that nobody knows, you know, who he really is and where he really is and how he formed, his name has been used in all kinds of scandalous ways. And, you know, I don't think any of them are good ways.
Who?
You know, I came across this website yesterday. I was looking at...
Yeah, but who?
But hold on, I was looking at child abuse cases, right? Just child abuse cases. Just
yeah, but who are you talking about? Who?
God. Everywhere you go, things have been done in God's name. Jews are killing people in God's name. The Arabs are killing people in God's name. You know, the Americans are using God's name on the back of their banknotes. In God we trust. You know, the legal system uses God's name. You know, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You know, and you make you swear on a religious book.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no one's ever met God. Nobody knows how God manifests itself in people's lives. God is meant to be the person of love and light and all things positive. And yet mankind is using him as some kind of threat. And I'm quite annoyed by that.
But in the court, you see, in the court case thingy, Bob, I like that, because the saying basically, put a hand on the Bible and you swear that you're going to tell the truth. If not, God can deal with you because you're lying on His Bible. There's nothing wrong with that. I like that. But there's other people that want to go and fight in the name of God, killing, get in the name of God. I got a problem with that.
But
you know what I'm saying?
I've got a problem with them using that in the judicial system, because we all know that that's as corrupt as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when the jury go into do jury service, they're not made to swear on a Bible or a religious book.
That's a good point.
The judge isn't made to swear on a religious book. The lawyers don't swear on a religious book. If it was all above board in the court system, they would say things like, yes, Mr. Smith is in front of us today for robbing the corner shop. But just to let you know, jury, he's also got convictions for rape and you know, grievous bodily harm. They wouldn't hide that. They would make that all out there in the beginning. So then you can look at the judge, you can look at the solicitor, and you can listen to their story and then see if it really rings true. Because so many cases, people have got a back history of crime. But when you listen to the lawyer, oh, he was a hardworking person, just a misunderstanding. He didn't mean to run over
That's his
16
job, though.
people in his
That's
bus.
his job, though. That's his
Yeah,
job. You see,
yeah,
exactly.
but
That's his job. That lawyer could know that he's lying, but he's still got a job to do.
well, lawyers aren't allowed to lie. They're just allowed to misdirect. So that's my
Right.
whole point. That's my whole point is
No,
you
no,
listen
yeah.
to that lawyer on that occasion and the story sounds convincing. And then when it comes up for being, let's say the man's found guilty, okay? And then when it comes to charging, giving him a sentence, then it comes out, oh, he did this and he did this and he did this and he did that all previously.
Mm-hmm.
Then you think, oh, okay, so really that lawyer just told us a story to make him sound like he's a really
No,
good
no, no.
person, when really
Certain
he's a career
situations,
criminal.
that have to reveal your past to the judge. In some situations, they don't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to you is when the court case is over and the judge
Mm-hmm.
has to sentence them, the
Mm-hmm.
person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Previous to that, the jury's listened to this man and they've
Mm-hmm.
listened to the lawyer and he's made it sound like, the guy was innocent, it was a misunderstanding, he didn't intend to commit a crime, and he's a law-abiding citizen. That's the impression they give. But
Mm-hmm.
let's just say the evidence was, let's just say there was video evidence of the man committing the crime. And,
Mm-hmm.
it couldn't be found any other way. So he's found guilty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mm-hmm.
when the judge goes to sentence him, you find out that this man had a huge armload long list of crimes that he's committed. So he's a career criminal.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say is you can't even believe the words of solicitors because they are there to misdirect. They are
Right.
to
Yeah.
obviously, do the best for their client, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So they should. But,
Yeah.
it just goes to show you can have a court case where a man is found not guilty and then you find out just, afterwards that he's had convictions for rape or whatever violence.
No, yeah, that's a touch and go one. If they got previous for that, I don't. Well, it's all about evidence, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm just
Really.
saying, just say the evidence is weak. And therefore the jury says, look, we can't convict him because, I don't know, that police officer's information just seems to be a little bit shady. There's no fingerprint evidence, the goods weren't found. It's just, they've just got one person saying this guy did it. Yeah. So obviously a reasonable jury will, it's all hypothetical, will say not guilty. And the guy walks. So of course we're happy the guy's walked. He's free. We don't want to lock people up. But then you find out, let's say it comes out in the paper, that he's got convictions and arm long for violence.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, what I'm saying is I don't really care what the lawyer says or the judge says. I'm just saying that when you go into the court system, it's all in the name of God.
Mm-hmm.
Right. People lie. The church is the biggest liar.
Because it's a game that they're playing it.
Yeah, but how can you go into a court system and they make you swear on the religious book when we know that religious people, religious leaders, are the most corrupt and evil-minded people that have ever walked this planet? The child abuse cases in the Catholic Church, in the Christian Church, snatching single women's children and giving them up for adoption, and if they weren't adopted, killing them and burying them all over Ireland.
But do you blame the church or do you blame the person?
I blame the institution because the institution is bigger than one person. It's not one rogue person, Seven, that's doing this.
So do you still see those actions happening today? I'm just asking questions.
Yeah. Well, the only answer I can give is I don't know because I'm not in the church. But based on their historical records, I wouldn't be surprised. And not even that. Let's just go back to the basics of the church, right? Jesus said in this Bible that women were not allowed to preach the word of God. So why have we got women vicars and women ministers in the church? Why have we got gay people giving service in the church?
Because
I'm just saying
well,
that, you know, in the Muslim faith, I'm not a Muslim, my husband's a Muslim, but I'm not a Muslim. You know, it's very clear what the rules are, right? It's whether people follow those rules exactly that is the issue. So in the Muslim faith, it's very clear what a man does and what a woman should do, right? Whereas in the Christian church, it's blatantly in the Bible, and I'm not against gay people. I'm just saying it just says, you know, man should not lie with man like he does with a woman, sort of thing. So
listen, let me say
God loves
something.
everybody. God loves everybody, but He's made it clear that women should not be preaching the word in the church.
Is that what it says in the Bible?
Yes.
Okay. See, but that's man in it. Man's trying to play God these days, and you know, and as you can see, he's trying to play God.
So that's why
So
the church cannot be trusted or believed.
right, right.
But if you look on the back of a dollar bill or the money in America, it says, "In God we trust." If you go into any courtroom, you know, it will be the word God will be somewhere in that courtroom. They will use a religious book that you have to use that to tell the truth. When you get arrested by the police, they don't say, you know, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. They don't say that, do they? They tell you
What?
that when
No,
you
the
get
police
arrested.
say that. No, who says that? That's what they say in courts, don't they?
That's what they say in court, yeah, but they don't say that when you're in a police interview.
No.
You know, they read you your rights, but it doesn't mention God. So only when
Yeah,
you
but
get to
listen,
court they mention God.
but all you're doing is questioning the way they read the law.
No, I'm questioning why we keep bringing God into every area of our life when God is managed, let's say, by the church, the religious organizations, and they are corrupt.
I don't get.
The
Okay,
church
right.
advocated slavery. The church advocated and said that black people are only 5/8 of a human. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that was the church. That was the church saying that. That was the church supporting
The
slavery.
church or the Bible?
The church.
Which church is this?
Well, the Christian church, Catholic
The
church.
Christians used to say that about black people.
Yes, that's what the missionaries were saying.
Oh, you mean way back in them days,
Yeah,
like? So,
way back in those days, that was their rationale
okay,
for slavery. Black
okay.
people are savages, and they are not 100. They're not
You
full
sound
humans.
like you're talking about the Quran right now. You know,
No, I'm not talking about the Quran. I'm talking
that's what it
about
sounds like.
because
Savages and all this stuff.
the Quran doesn't talk about savages.
No, but how we disrespect black people?
Yeah, that was the Christian church.
No, yeah. No, what I'm saying is your bars sounds like your bars. What it says in the Quran about black people.
Does it say that about black people in the Quran?
Yes, in the Quran.
Because the
Yes.
Quran is written for black people, so I don't see how it could
No,
say
it's
that.
not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
But Arabs are black people.
The Quran. In the Quran, it tells you that you know, it doesn't. What's the word for when you're supposed to say something's dismembered or stopped or something? Black slavery. There's still black slavery going on in like in the world today.
Yeah,
And then
Saudi Arabia.
it's pretty much
Saudi Arabia in particular. Yeah.
no, hold on, with Muslims in the Muslim, what
Yes,
you call it, still
there
got
are.
black slaves. So
Yes,
that, so basically, the Quran hasn't cancelled it. Slavery. It
but
states it in the Quran. That basically it's fine with it. That's why it still goes on today.
yes, they are fine with it because the Quran is not allowed to be
But that's why I
rewritten
asked
or
you, and
changed.
and this is why I asked you before about the Christian thing. I said, is it still going on today?
Yes, the
That's
belief.
why I asked you that question.
Well, there's a difference between the Quran and the Bible because the Quran, it is said, came from the Prophet and it was memorized. And what was memorized was written. And nothing can be changed. Nothing can be added to the Quran and nothing can be taken away from the Quran. As the Quran was 2,000 years ago, the Quran still is today.
Yeah,
Right?
there's different versions in it,
Right?
and different
No.
different
There's only one
versions in it.
version. No. There's one
No,
version.
I know what I'm talking about. There's different versions of it. Trust me, different translations and all that stuff. You get me? That's what. Do you know that there's Muslims that are at war with each other,
Yes, of
and they're
course.
supposed and they represent the Quran in it? But
But
I mean, not blood. Sorry.
because of the Muslim faith, because anything can be interpreted, right? So when a woman in the Muslim faith, in the Muslim country, says, when it says, women should dress modestly, for example, right? Now, some Muslims will say, okay, that means I'm going to cover my hair, I'm going to wear a loose gown, and I'm not going to be revealing any, curves or my hair, right? And that for them is being modest. They're still a good Muslim. Other countries like Afghanistan, that's not enough. That woman has to be covered from head to toe in one gown, from her head to her feet. Her hands mustn't show, her fingers mustn't show, her feet mustn't show. She's not allowed to wear makeup, she's not allowed to wear perfume, she's not allowed to talk when she's in the street.
I understand that.
And that's still a Muslim. So it's how Muslim people interpret what has been written.
Huh?
But
are you on about this? Do you mean that they still follow the tradition? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
Well, that's a good thing. You know what? You just proved my point as well. Thank you for saying that. Hold on. Let me just say this one little thing. You can have the mic back. You just proved my point that they still follow the Quran. Boom, boom, boom. They don't really take it as a what you call it. They take everything in there as what you're supposed to do. So all the when it comes to all that stuff that we all heard about, that's wrong. That's why it's still happening. Do you understand? That's why I asked you about the Christian thing. Does it still happen today? No, it don't. But when you look at that book, though, it's happening today. Everything it talks about in there, from the slavery to everything, still happens today because it hasn't been cancelled. God in that book didn't say it's wrong to do it.
Well, it isn't the rules of the Quran or the rules of the Quran, right? You can add nothing to it. You can take nothing away from it. And as it is written, it should be followed, right? But you've got one man in the north, for example, saying that women should dress modestly because that's what it says in the Quran. So a woman in the north will wear a scarf on her head and she won't wear tight-fitting clothes. She'll wear, an outfit to cover what she's wearing.
And women in Africa do that too,
But her face will be showing. In another country, another Muslim woman will cover her face, cover her hair, and wear a loose-fitting outfit. In another Muslim country, a woman will cover her hair, but show her face and wear Western clothes. And in another Muslim country, a woman will be covered from head to toe. You won't see any of her at all.
And in this country, you'll see all of that, what you just seen.
Exactly.
So you probably see all of that, what you just said in some of them countries too.
Exactly.
But carry on.
So the point is that regardless of what is written, people will interpret it however they want to.
Okay, listen. You're not understanding. You're not understanding what I'm saying to you? What's the word condemned? Is it condemned or something? Right. There's certain things that are condemned. If you look at the Bible and stuff like that, it basically talks about love each other and rah, 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 forgive and blah, blah, blah. And so it's not talking about any kind of war. But when you look at certain parts of the thingy bob, right, it talks about certain acts and not condemning it. That's why it's still alive today. Like, listen, I don't always want to get into it because of people's religion and stuff, but I'm just saying there's certain things that what you see today, that's why it's still happening today, because that's their law. It's like a way of life.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I hear what you're saying, and I understand the point you're making. But this is the thing: it is a book that has been written, but people can read the same book. 10 people can read the same book and interpret it differently. They don't change the words. They don't add anything to it. They don't take anything away from it. But they just take the word modest means you must be covered completely and must never leave the house. Whereas someone else will take that in a different way. It's like the Jewish religion, right? In the Jewish faith, right, you've got people that are committed Jews. But you've got some of the Jews that wear the big hats, some of the women that wear the wigs, and some of the women that are actresses in Hollywood, but yet they're still Jewish. Still following the same religion, but they interpret it, they live the religion differently.
Yeah, exactly. By choice, they know what they're supposed to. Exactly. So, what you're trying to say then? I don't get it.
So the point I'm
They
trying
know.
to say
Listen, they know what they're supposed to do. But if they have a fashion sense and not wear half the design and just a bit on their head, that's up to them. But they know they're supposed to wear the whole outfit. That's a fact. But if they have a fashion design and just put on the bottom piece and change up the top piece, that's down to them.
Exactly. So it's down to choice. So that means, right, that people are clearly free to interpret their religion how they want to, depending on the country they live, because it does depend on the country they live in, right? So how can you have the Bible, God, at the center of the judicial system?
I don't know.
Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? It's like, what I'm trying to say is it's like people take the word God and the Bible and they just assume it's full of goodness. Well, actually, in reality, it's not full of
No,
goodness,
it's not.
is it?
It's like this. No, listen. Like if somebody says something to you, and if you're lying, God will punish you. There's like powerful words. So when they're building these big courts and they're saying it's in God's name, it's the same kind of thing. So just know, if you get caught lying, not only will you be judged by us and sent to prison, but God's going to deal with you one day too for lying on the Bible. It's just that extra power.
It's a threat.
I understand it. I get it.
I get it. It's a threat.
I get it though,
So what they're basically saying, reinforcing, is it doesn't matter what you say or do, God is bigger and better than you and I, right? God is like, what God doesn't like, he's going to punish.
I don't know what's going on.
Time.
Are you still there?
Time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How come the screen's fucking up? 1 second. You keep talking. I'm gonna.
I'm just curious as to why in 2024 God's authority, God's power, the religious books are still used to manipulate people's behaviors, because coming to God should be through choice, right? And why is the biggest threat in a court, in the judicial system, isn't the death penalty? The biggest threat in the judicial system is telling a lie to God. That's just a bit, it's I just feel that many people are very religious, but they belong to churches where the people that are running and managing those churches are not as honest or as faithful as those that are coming to church, on their religious days to praise God. I mean, the Catholic Church has had so many cases of child abuse, and yet the Catholic Church still exists today. I mean, people keep saying, oh, if you're religious and you believe in God, you should learn to forgive. Why should you forgive? God doesn't forgive, does he? Does God forgive? Where is the evidence that God forgives?
What is God to you?
What is God to me?
Mm-hmm.
I can't use the word God. All I can use the word is godly, and that would be nature and the earth. Because I can't think beyond. I can't think that God is a man with a long beard and long hair floating on some clouds.
Not a man, not a man. I said, what is God to you? Not a man, not a human.
The planet is God to me. Because this
So,
planet has the power to encourage life or to destroy life. And that's the most powerful thing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
There's
but
nothing man can do that can overcome nature. So nature is my God.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
That's on a spiritual level. I mean, where was God when your kittens were being born?
Where was God when my kids were being born?
When your kittens.
Huh?
When Shakima was having her babies,
Yeah.
God wasn't present.
He wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, it was just nature. Nature was doing what nature does.
Right. Yeah.
I know it's abstract, but what I'm trying to say is,
let me ask you.
it's like God has been turned into this modern day bully. If you don't tell the truth, God is going to come and he's going to get you. He's going to punish you. People use
Hold
God
on a
as
second. Let me ask you some questions because do you believe in God? Yes or no? Or you're atheist or something?
Do I believe in God?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So you're basically atheist.
I'm just going to say no, because I would say that I have a spiritual belief.
Huh?
I would say I have a spiritual belief. I can't say I believe in God as in how God is created in this world, if you see what I mean.
Okay.
Meaning,
So
I don't find God in a church, right? I don't need to go to church and listen to a bishop or a pastor or a minister to talk to me about God.
have you ever been to church?
Yeah, I grew up in the church.
So what made you? So what happened? What made you not believe in God or whatever?
When I realised that mankind is very evil and
Right.
can do evil things and still say that they're a Christian.
So that means that there's no God.
For me.
So what about the whole rule about sinning? What about all that?
I believe that the Bible was written by man. The Bible was not written by God.
Of course.
So therefore, it's a man's book. It's not God's book.
So okay. So let's get into this because you were just talking all this Quran stuff about blah 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 blah. If you believe, right, man, read the Bible, right?
Yes.
Get me. But so where did the Quran come from? Who read the Quran? Was it God? Are you telling me God that you don't believe in read the Quran? Is that what you're gonna say?
I'm not an expert on the Quran, and I know that the Quran was written by men who heard the word of the Prophet and who repeated the words of the Prophet, and those words were checked, double checked, triple checked against all of those that heard the word. And that's why the Quran, regardless of what country it's in, it all reads the same.
You keep saying all that. So
it's true. It's true.
listen. Straightforward question. So are you saying that's God's book or is it man-made? Oh no, you did answer it because you said man writ it, but one man writ it and blah blah blah. Okay. Hold on.
I'm just saying that everyone that has read the Quran has read
Yeah.
the same thing.
Right.
But when you go to read the Bible, there's St. James's Bible, St. George's Bible, St. Christopher's Bible, Peter's Bible, blah, 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 blah. There's all these different, and they're all read differently. The Quaker Bible isn't the same as the Christian Bible or the Catholic Bible or the New Testament version. They're all different.
Exactly. See, you talk. I'm not a Christian, but I know like there were different periods, different churches that created their versions of Bibles and stuff like that. But they were saying, certain things. The main thing in the Bible was never changed. It's just something else that was changed. But that's not concern. It's the thing about that people need to pay attention to, and that's never been changed. That's what Christians say. So, are you a Muslim?
No.
Oh, because you're coming across a bit like a Muslim.
No, my husband's a Muslim, not necessarily a very practicing. He's not a devout Muslim,
Okay.
but you know, I know a little bit about it. But you know, I grew up in the Christian church, so you know, I had all of that conditioning. But
So let me go back to my question that you never answered. What's that? Did the planet create itself? Yeah. How did the planet create itself? Let me highlight that for you. How did the planet? Yeah. How did the planet create? How did the things get here and whatever? You said nature, right?
Yes. Atoms, science. Yes.
Atoms.
Yeah, we're all made up of
So
atoms.
now we're going from science. So you believe in science then?
I believe in science, yes.
Okay, so that's why. Now we understand. It's because you believe in science. Okay, so do you believe in the spirit?
You're asking? Are you asking? Do I believe in the soul?
Say again.
Do I believe in a soul? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, souls.
Yeah.
Souls.
Yes, I do.
You know what's crazy, Tom? I was having a debate with my friend, and he's all about science. A 2-hour debate today. Send that start by my car. 2 hour. Meaning we're good for was in the gym earlier, and then they had to come down to me to get something, and we was out there talking about. It started crazy. It actually started with religion, and it went from religion to a whole lot of other different things.
It does, because science and religion run parallel to each other. You either believe one or the other. It's very difficult to believe both. But I was just I was talking about this the other day with a friend of mine, because she was saying, when you look, we were talking about people's disabilities, and we are all made up of matter. We're all made up of stuff, okay? Most of it being water, but we're made up of cells, right? So when we're being created, sperm meets egg, isn't it amazing that most of us come out with 2 arms and 2 legs and a working brain? Because it's like a game of poker. Anything could go wrong at any stage of those cells multiplying.
So, let's just go back to the science. So, being someone that's into science, right?
Yeah.
What's the answer to life and creation then, and God or whatever?
I believe that God doesn't explain the universe.
And have you asked him?
Well,
or her? Or it?
No, I never have. But just because you believe in God, it does not explain the universe as it is today.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yes, I believe that it's very pompous of mankind to believe we are the only intelligent life force in this universe.
You would like this guy called Sarah. I forgot his name. His last name is a London guy. He's the same as you. Believes in science and stuff. I think he was in Adios one time.
Well, okay.
He's got a YouTube channel.
Okay, this is how. Let me just give you a really crazy thought. Just focusing on God, right? And how do people communicate with God? They communicate with Him through prayer. Do you agree with that?
Through prayer, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's right. Christians.
So you and I, let's both pray that you win the lottery this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
How likely is that to happen if we pray for it?
See, now that's just a silly question, because I could pray. No, it is. Why? Because I could pray and then go and put on the lottery next week and just win.
Yeah,
or I could pray, or I could pray and then not win, or win 2 years down the line. Okay, that's just that's
But if you and I both prayed and you won the lottery, you would then go and say, "Oh my God, God made it happen. God made it happen. God made it happen." You would.
Well, why would it? Listen, first of all, I ain't gonna jump up on the spot and say, God made this happen. God, I ain't that kind of guy. Trying to say, I'll be like, thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? I say that. Thank you, God, yo. Get me some looks come my way or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
And then if you didn't win, what would you say? Oh,
God
God
damn you,
wasn't
God.
listening.
I hate
God.
you, God. God, when I see you in heaven, God, I'm going to take off my shoe. I'm take off my sock. I hit you with the sock and put my shoe back on.
Exactly. You're going to say, oh, you weren't listening to me, God. Just think about all of the times people have prayed for God to do something good, like save my mum, save my dad, save my child, not let this bad thing happen. And the bad things happened.
Mm.
So does it mean that you didn't pray enough? Does
No,
it mean that you didn't pray
see, all
hard
right then.
enough?
Let me go back to that sin thing, and we're all sinners, and shit can just happen. You know what I'm saying? We're living around the devil, bad energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit can happen. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. Tom, you gone?
No, I'm here. I was just drinking some water.
Okay.
To
How
hear
you
you.
doing, Yoda? You all right, bro?
I'm good, man. How you been?
I've been all right, Been all right. How about yourself?
I'm making it, man. Making it. What's going on, tomfoolery?
I'm doing fine. You've come up to join the debate, have you?
I have. You have sparked my interest.
Oh, good, good.
I'll leave you to take the wheel and sit back and roll up.
Yeah, let's listen.
Did you say you were married to a Muslim man,
Yes,
but you don't believe in God?
yes. God, as in how he is portrayed.
Because you said you're more spiritual.
Well, because my experience of God is he is white, he's blonde haired, he's blue eyed. No, Jesus, sorry, that's Jesus. And God is an old white man with, long white hair and a long beard, and he's floating around in the ether. That's how I was raised up in the Christian church. You've got the picture of Jesus at the end of the altar, blah, blah, blah. And as I've got older and I've thought about it, I've realized that the way that God is portrayed by mankind, that is not the God that I believe in. I don't believe God, that is God. I believe the universe is the godly environment, if that's the only way I can really describe it.
Okay. So your husband being a Muslim, has he ever tried to? I guess because in Islam, God is called Allah, right?
Yes, yes.
Has he ever tried to explain that concept to you?
I wouldn't say that my husband is a devout Muslim. I would say that he's a occasional Muslim. Let's just put it that way. But we have talked about it, and he has convinced me that the Quran is a more accurate representation
Uh,
of the Muslim faith. Now, the Muslim activities, that's a different conversation, because I don't believe that Islam is a pure religion, as in for 1800 years it was the religion for slavers to enslave people. So that's a different conversation. But I believe that the Quran, nothing has been added and nothing has been taken away. So for me, that's a more authentic book of faith.
okay, and would you consider the Quran more of a religious text or a more spiritual text?
Well, I haven't read the Quran, so I can't comment on that. All I can say is that I have respect for the Quran, because if nothing's been added and nothing's been taken away, and it doesn't matter what country you are in the world, you will all read the same words. For me, that is an authentic representation of that faith.
But in fairness, you really can't give it that credit since you haven't read it, correct?
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm just going on what I've been told, whereas I know that there are hundreds of different versions of the Bible. And that's not come from the Word of God. That's from the New Testament version, the St. James's Testament, the St. George's Testament.
Tom? Can you do me a favor? Can you tell me what they changed?
Well, it's interpretation. Like, for example, if you go to the Torah, which is the Jewish book, right? They don't accept the New Testament. So the whole of the New Testament doesn't exist.
Yeah,
So
but
you've got the Old Testament
yeah,
and
but
the
there's
New
some
Testament.
Muslims that don't. There's some Muslims that don't accept other Muslims.
Yeah, yeah. When
And because of the book, do you know that there was a first Muslim Quran, and then there was a second one, or something like that? That's why they started to fight each other, or some shit like that.
Hold on, I'm not.
Or was it because of something?
Let me just go
Maybe
back
I'm
to what
wrong.
let me just go back to what Yoda said. So Yoda. So we know that the Jehovah Witness, they read a different version of the Bible. We know that the Jews read a different version of the Bible. We know that St. James's version is a modern version of an older testament. We know that the Bible that Queen Victoria was reading is not the same Bible that King Charles is reading. We know that there are, many, the Quakers don't read the same version. The Catholics have a slightly different version. Different Christian subsections.
Well, you're saying too many versions. I've only heard that it's been changed, like, altered once.
There are.
Yeah, but all right then. But listen. What I'm trying to ask you the question is, because I've always heard the hype, they've changed the blah blah blah, and I've actually heard Christians turn around and say, yeah, but what have we changed? And then they can't answer that question, but they're all wrong with that hype.
All right. The Mormons have a different version of the Bible. So go read the Mormon version.
It's not all right. Okay,
yeah,
I get
you see what I mean? It's what I'm telling you is that all these different religious Christian groups all have a different version of the Bible, because
listen,
the Bible is some say Jesus, some say Yahweh.
Tom. God didn't visit all these people, Everybody took the statement when it all happened. People took their own versions down and went back to their people. Or they would to create a church. They would create a Bible to go switch up some things. That's what was happening. So I don't listen. But the point is this: I don't get what you're trying to say, because if you speak to a Christian, right, on this matter, and he would say like what's being changed, like an eye for an eye. What's it changed to now? Show some kind of love or some shit like that. No, listen, Tom, listen. Like it used to be an eye for an eye. They've changed that to something like show some kind of love or some shit. I can't remember what it is. It's little things like that to change. So I don't understand what the big thing is. Get me? Like, if what Christians did, right, is updated over the years as they went along to suit the people. But listen to what listen, you're missing the point again. When they all come along and they writ down their shit to suit their people, remember they writ down their own kind of whatnot they needed to take back to their people. Do you understand? So if they're gonna change it up, then they're gonna change it up. They changed it up the first time when they let us out of slavery. Did you know that?
No, they changed it way before then, because the Bible.
No. Listen, no. When they let us out of slavery and they gave black people the Bible, they changed it. They changed it and started giving black people the Bible. That's a fact.
Yeah, but the Bible's been going since the 13th century. Slavery.
But listen, the message still stands. Yeah, but the message still stands though. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to ask your man, right, what is it they changed about the thing about whoever's told you this information, go back and ask them what is it they changed. I can
tell you some of the things that's
okay changed. Then tell me then.
Some of the stories have been changed. So Jesus never rose.
Do you know that they took out the stories at the Quran?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I'm not talking about the Quran.
Okay. No. But you were talking about how it's untouched and shit. Listen. You was talking about how it's been untouched and shit when it was out. They released it and then they brought them all back in and took a lot of shit out and then put it back out on the market. That's exactly what they did. So it has been touched. Anyway, carry on.
Then you would need to have someone that is a Muslim.
But it's still being touched.
But what I am saying is I'm not an expert on the Quran, right? I don't read Arabic, so I can't read the Quran. And to read the Quran, you have to learn Arabic.
Did you know that the Quran was only made for Arabics, and it says in the Quran?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So why is
Yeah.
every race? But you know what?
Because
You know
that
what
was the
Muslims? No, no,
language.
wait. You know what Muslims run around and say that the Quran's for everybody? No, it's not. It's only for Arabic, and it
No,
says it in
no,
there.
it isn't.
No,
The
no,
Quran.
facts. This is a fact,
No,
though. This is a fact, though.
no, that's not true.
That's
I
not
can
true.
prove it, you know,
Exactly.
bro. What I'll do is tomorrow I'll come live and I'll prove it for you. I'll prove it for you. I'll prove it for you.
Listen.
I'll prove it for you. I'm gonna put a video up here, and the man's gonna have the scriptures. Gonna show you can pull out your book at the same time, follow his lead,
Let
and they're
me
gonna
ask
show
you
you what it
something.
means, all that stuff. Just
Uh,
watch. I'll do
uh,
it for you, bro.
okay, okay. I want to ask you something real quick, because
All right.
at the end of the day, when it comes to the Torah, the book called Bible, and the Holy Quran, those are revelations to humanity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that God would bring forth through, say, a prophet or whomever, and it just be for a particular people. Now, as it
Okay.
pertains to the Torah and the Jews, because you mentioned earlier, you said, well, the Jews don't believe in the new book, the new
Yes.
revelation,
Yeah.
right? But there's a reason for that. And if everyone understood the history behind that, then everything would make more sense as to, like, what's going on in the world today. So
Mm.
so when it comes to, um, I wanted to ask you so much. This is a good conversation. I wanted to ask you. Damn, I hate when that happens.
Mm-mm. Take your time. Take your time.
You guys can go
You
ahead.
want you to ask you want you to ask Tom.
Once it triggers, I'll cut in and say, all
Tom,
right,
yeah,
let's do
Tom, go over what you was talking about before
What
and trigger his mind.
what the original, I can't even say the original. Let's just say the modern. When I say modern, I mean I'm talking 17th century. So that's the 1600s. The modern version of the Bible was written in Latin,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the Bible that we read today is written in English and all the other languages, but the original source was written in Latin. So in
Right.
order for anybody to read the Bible, they would have had to be educated, and to be educated in the language of Latin. That is the
Mm-hmm.
language of the aristocracy and the rich and the elites. Latin is
Mm-hmm.
not the language of the poor,
Okay.
right? So first of all, the Bible that we had as modern mankind was not written for everybody. It was only written for the rich
The
and the
people,
wealthy.
the
The rich
people
and the
in it.
wealthy. The rich and the wealthy, right?
Well, no.
That's
Wait a minute. So wait. Say that again.
Exactly. Like
that
so that like
when
because remember I went in the church.
Wait. Say that again, please.
the Bible that was in the church during the 16th century was written in Latin.
Oh no, you said something about rich
For the
people.
rich and the wealthy. So I am talking about England, okay, Great Britain. So the Bible that we had in Great Britain was written in Latin, and the only people that could understand written Latin and could read and write Latin were the
Well, the
rich,
educated.
the educated, the elites, and those monks in the monasteries. And the monks in the monasteries would copy word for word and make another version of the Bible. Not with different words. They would just copy and share, copy and share. That's what they did. And those are the
Okay.
Bibles that are held in where the Pope is, in the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when the Bible is interpreted into Old English, New English, and Modern English, the stories change. The version changes.
All right, you're gonna have to show me all these different changes because I've only heard of one.
Well, words in Latin, you can't do a direct quote
And
from
don't get
Latin to English.
the what's the other one? There's Christians and Catholics. Don't get their
Yeah,
two books mixed up.
yeah,
Don't get their books
but
mixed up.
what I'm trying to say to you is, right, just like with the Jewish community, there are many different types of Jewish faiths, right? There's the Orthodox and non-Orthodox, the Hasidic. There's many. Some are more relaxed, some are more strict, and I think the same goes for Muslims. Some Muslims are more relaxed, some Muslims are more strict, right? Christians, you can't have a strict Christian because the Christian faith is so open-ended.
What you mean?
You've only got the 10 commandments that are the 10 rules. That's it, really. Everything else is a story. You know, in some version, I mean, and remember the biggest difference in the Christian
So wait there. So what have you got in the Quran then?
What do you mean?
You said you've only got this and you've only got that. Like, you know a lot about it. You know a lot about.
You've got like 387 rules in the Quran.
What rules are them?
Well, I'm not a Muslim. We need to get a Muslim up here. But
Listen. All right. Let me just say one thing, right? You see, God, right? Does God come first or second? Let me ask you that question. Did you come first or second?
In the Christian faith, God would come first.
So in the Muslim faith, he will come last. He will come late. I heard that y'all are playing God and dropping Bible.
Have the prophet Muhammad.
So wait there.
Muhammad is a prophet.
Okay. Yeah.
Like Jesus was a prophet.
Okay. No. But what I'm saying, who comes first? Would God come first, or would he come last? Would he come to bring a message first or last?
I don't understand the question.
Would God come first, come like through his people first and say and give out a message to the world? Let's say like that. Give out a message to the world, right? Or would he wait for somebody to come first and give out some godly message, then come 500 years later? 500 years later and say, no, I'm God, man. Don't believe that, boy. What I want you to do is go over there and put war on them and then get black people, put them into slavery all the way to 2044.
Or 7. When Jesus was born, Jesus became his spokesperson. So everything came from Jesus. In the book, in the Quran, Jesus is seen as a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad is seen as a prophet.
But they don't respect, but Muslims don't respect Jesus. Not all. Obviously, the real Muslims obviously do. The real. But I'm on about the Dawa and all them people. But carry on.
I'm saying that the Muslims respect Jesus as a prophet, right? The difference is Muhammad.
How do you know this though? All right, so do you know? All right, cool. All right, carry on though.
Just like you know some bits, I know some bits, and some of the bits you know may be
true,
or may be different,
true,
right?
True,
so
yeah.
I know that Muslims respect Jesus as a prophet, right? The Muslims respect Muhammad as a prophet, right? He's their prophet. So
let me ask you this question: who do Muslims respect more, Jesus or Muhammad?
Muhammad.
Okay, then.
But I don't think you can really say more. It's just different.
No, yes, I can. No, I can say more.
I need to break in. I'm sorry.
All right.
Now this part right here, when it comes down to the books, right? You have the Torah, the Injil, the Bible, and then you have the Holy Quran. These books are simply a revelation to humanity. So
what do you mean by revelations? Can you just?
I'm glad you asked.
Expand on that, please.
Yeah, absolutely. What I mean by that is, when you read the book, God has given you a synopsis of time, right? So you have the 3 periods as it surrounds time. You have what's called
BC, before Christ, during Christ,
right.
and after Christ.
You have the beginning, you have the middle, Revelation, and then you have the end, the Exodus. So so all the books essentially in principle are the same. They speak of a beginning, they speak of a revelation, and they speak of an Exodus. Though all of those books came at a time when man deviated. So it's not that a Jewish or Muslim or Christian believe in this. A true worshiper of God understands that if you're doing a proper study of religion, understands that they're all equally important, because at one point in time, if you go back to the original revelation that was revealed to man, right? You won't find any mention of homosexuality You won't find it in the first text
Yeah.
of Revelation that was given,
Yes. Yeah.
because homosexuality did not exist at that time. So
Right.
as the
Oh well,
more
maybe it wasn't called homosexuality, but clearly it did exist.
so as man continued to transgress, you'll notice in each book you would find more and more. There would be more.
Well, you
I
have the
guess.
story of Sodom and Gomorrah, so clearly there was a lot of nonsense going on.
Well, if you go back to, I'm simply talking about, because cause Seven asked the question. Well, does this group respect this prophet more over
Yeah.
this? This is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because as far as Jesus, Muhammad, or Abraham, Moses, all of these stories are given for man to look back and reflect. That's really all it is, And
That's
so,
good.
but as man begins to transgress more and more and more, God will send one that will give a word that would hopefully would take root within the society at that time that has deviated from the path, and that word is supposed to guide them back to the path of God, right? But within that. That script, if you will, right? There was always, and this takes you into, God being man, because you say, well, I don't really do Christianity. I'm not really a Muslim. I'm just a spiritual person. I just believe that, the planet, this, yada, yada, yada. I get it, all of that. But at the end of the day, man is God. And
Mm.
you simply cannot make God anything other than man. And I'll prove my point right here. When you look at nature, when you look at every living thing in nature, right? Every living thing, everything that exists, that is living, has a nature to itself. But it
Hmm.
simply can but it cannot deviate from its aim and purpose in which God created it. So a bee 1,000 years ago is the exact same thing that we see today. A dog, 1,000 years ago, it's the exact same thing. And the characteristics that it displays, that each thing, the bee, a bird, a butterfly, a fish, a whale, those things cannot deviate from the nature in which they were made. They
But that's
they
the same as us.
No, they have what's called a fixed nature. So
Right.
so no matter what you do, see, this is why if you go to if you go to a zoo, right, and you'll see like or a circus. If you go to the circus, you'll see where they'll have the lions and tigers like jumping through the hoops of flame and whatnot. Everybody's coming, oh my God, he made the lion jump through the hoop of fire. And we know that's entertaining, but it's a whole another thing when you go out into the Serengeti or out in Bali somewhere in the forest or whatever, and you're on a
Yeah.
safari and you actually see the animal doing exactly what it's supposed to do, then that's when it becomes
Right.
an awe-inspiring, because now you're seeing it for what it actually is.
Yes. Right. Right.
So now you said, well, aren't we the same? No. And that's where, if you understand the genesis of scripture, that's where we come in, because that that spiritual element that Tom was talking about, right? That spiritual element is really entwined in who we are as quote unquote human beings, and
Right.
this is why we can do everything that other living creatures can do, exhibit, but they can't do what we can do. We we
Look,
I'm
okay. Can I
finishing.
just
I'm
give you?
finishing. I'm finishing.
Okay.
I'm
All
finishing.
right. I'm coming
We
back for you though.
That's cool. We have we have the ability. So when God says that He brings man forth, and then when He creates this man, He tells them, "Be fruitful and multiply. This earth, subdue it, master it. Everything within the heavens and the earth. You are the master of everything that you see." And so man has the ability with his mind, which is basically the mind of God Himself, has the ability to manipulate his environment. to such a degree to where to such a degree to where no other living thing can do that.
That's
Okay, so I'm
Go
science.
gonna,
ahead. Go
I'm,
ahead.
That's
Go ahead.
okay,
science.
I'm
That's
gonna, I'm gonna, I'm
science.
gonna, I'm gonna kill all that right now.
Okay.
This planet is what is it? 90% water or something like that. Is it 90 or 80% water?
75%. Yeah.
All right. So what's that? What's that? 25% is us on the land, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's what man controls. That's it. That's it. You see the rest, the 75%, the ocean. And what's in the ocean? And there's no understanding of man's fears are in the ocean, but they haven't even, they haven't even been through 30% of the ocean or some madness like that. You get me? And they're talking about what could be in there. That's the biggest. I'm telling you, whatever's in there. Do you understand? That's the biggest brain on the planet. I'm
Now I'm
telling you, bro.
now
We're
I'm
just a
okay.
little percentage of this world, but there's a big ocean out there, and there's creatures down there. Like
Okay.
for real, for real.
Right. I hear you. Now you say that if what you're saying is true, then explain to me when they landed on the moon, what did they say? They said this is one small step for
Yeah, for
man,
man.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But one
Mm-hmm.
Giant
giant
step.
leap for mankind.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're telling you right then and there that you're dealing with two forces here. We are, in fact, the gods of this planet, actually, the universe. It's just that we've been living under the rule of Satan to such a degree to where he has stumped or stifled our natural godly abilities, if you will. But even in the madness of society and the world that we live in, a lot of our abilities still kind of peek through, but we really don't understand them in that way because we've come under this satanic environment of
Yeah.
debauchery.
So
You follow
let
what
me
I'm
ask you
saying?
this question. So do you think we're the only ones out here? Or are you talking about God of this planet? Are you talking about
According
this planet or the universe and stuff?
according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he says that there's life on 7 of the 9 planets.
Right. So who are the true gods then out of all the planets?
We
Who's
are.
stronger than?
We are.
Mm,
Well,
We
we would
are.
say that, wouldn't we?
No,
And yet we can't
that's
communicate.
not a vain. I don't say that out of vanity.
Yeah, but we
I,
say that. But
I
that makes no sense. We
okay,
cannot use
look,
telekinesis. So how
that
can we have advanced sufficiently to communicate with other planets?
if man if you fly to Africa right now, right? If you fly to Africa right now, and they take you into the middle of the jungle, and they say, okay, just walk your way back to the hotel or whatever, and let's just
Yeah,
say you had the means to do that. I know this is kind of if you walk as you walk through that jungle back to where you needed to go, every living thing would scurry from you because every living thing knows that you are the god of the planet. They have there is a natural fear that every single living thing outside of man, they have a natural fear of us
but hold
because
on, Ed,
um,
and every just like you say, and every animal would scurry away in fear of us. Every plant would be a threat to us because one scratch from that plant, another scratch from that plant could kill us.
that's not that's kind of yeah, that's kind of like apples and watermelons. I mean, that's like saying, of course, if you walked into a if you walk past a rattlesnake, and of course it's poisonous. If it bites you, it could do harm
But
or
I'm not
possibly
talking
kill you.
about, I'm talking about passive behavior, just like you're talking about passive behavior.
Yeah, I mean, a plant really can't. It's a plant. You know what I mean? It's not
But
like it can.
a plant with a thorn could scratch you, and you could be walking for 2 days, and then you get tetanus. Do you see what I mean? It's a it's
I
a passive
mean,
thing. I mean,
there's
there are
bacteria.
poisonous plants that
Oh,
exist
okay,
that even
there's
as hogweed. If we brush by hogweed, it has like an acidic effect on the skin, and it burns the skin. And that plant
I
just
mean,
grows everywhere and everywhere.
right, if you're going to say that, then you might as well. Hell, where does it end? I mean, there's viruses and bacteria in the air. I mean, you could.
Yeah, but you're the one that brought it up that every animal was scary for us because we are the superior being. And I'm saying we may be superior to animals, but to plant life, we are very susceptible.
And yet and still, we are still the masters over that plant.
But we eat the wrong plant and we're dead.
Right, but the whole idea of being a god is we already know what the plan is.
Okay. I hear what you're saying, but I think you must hear what I'm saying too.
I mean,
because we've lost that knowledge. We have modern man has lost the knowledge of nature. You can take an Amazonian in the Amazonian rainforest, and he'll know exactly what plants he can eat and not eat, and to survive and thrive.
That's man.
Yeah, you take Mr. Bob from Kentucky and you throw him in the Amazonian jungle, and he sees a red berry and he eats it because he's hungry. Next thing you know, he's dead. He doesn't have that connection with nature.
Yeah, but I could take that same man into McDonald's and show him what a Happy Meal looks like. You know what I'm saying? It's only because
but a
you
man
don't
from
know.
the jungle would want to eat a Happy Meal.
But you don't know until you know. You know what I'm saying? If somebody could show it.
He wouldn't agree with his stomach. So we've evolved. We still need water. We still need air, and we still need fire for cooking. So we haven't really evolved that much from prehistoric man, have we?
No, what?
Well. You have to remember. We have nuclear power plants, and there are some other sciences that are patented that aren't really out in the.
But we still need oxygen. We still need
course.
water. We still need food.
Yes,
we still need
absolutely.
to excrete.
Yes.
And we still need heat.
That is correct.
So we haven't evolved that much from the first man walking
No.
on the planet.
That's like saying we need the sun too. Without no sun, there's no life. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So I'm saying we haven't evolved that much.
Tom, don't you remember the video clip I showed you in Egypt, and it showed you how they had a system to create electricity using water. So they know how to do it. They're choosing to make us destroy the planet with using the oil and using all this stuff when they can create it. The Egyptians done it using water. They've done it. They've already created, and they found all this thing called the water. Remember the video? I played it. I showed you how they work the system, and the minute explain that this is a big, basically like a.
I'm not arguing that. The point I'm arguing is that man, womankind, we still have the same basic needs, the same basic functions that we had with prehistoric man. We cannot go longer than 8 days without water.
Who are we supposed to change our culture?
I mean, we're not. How do you?
We haven't evolved. We haven't evolved.
How do you evolve? How do you
Right.
evolve from breathing?
From eating.
Breathe.
Well, animals
have
have
to
evolved.
eat.
Dogs
have
have
to
evolved.
drink.
Dogs have evolved so that they are now domesticated. Cows have evolved.
Wait. But do they eat and breathe though? Do they eat and breathe in some kind of way?
Yes, but now they have a dependency on humans, whereas before they could be wild and not rely on us.
Whether they get their food in the wild
maize
or
is
whether
now
we give them the
genetically
food.
modified. We cannot grow a natural maize plant without it being in the laboratory for the seeding process. The nitrogens that plants need is now.
But you're showing me how man's destroyed it. All you're saying that is man's destroyed this. Man's destroyed nature. That's what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is, after how many thousands of years on this earth, we are still not levitating above it.
We are though, but man's bringing us. There's a certain group that's poisoning our water, our food, dumbing us down. They don't want us to grow like that, making us suffer. Boom, boom, boom. You can see the force out there, Tom. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Yoda.
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Oh, okay. My thing's not moving. Yeah, I mean, to me, I think it's. You're like, well, we haven't evolved too much because we still need to breathe. We still need to eat. We still need to. Man was created to breathe and eat and drink.
No,
we're
she's
not.
not. But remember, she's science, so
We, we,
she wait for
we
us to
are
turn
not.
into robots.
Yeah, we are finite beings. We're not infinite. There's only one infinite, and that's the God energy. You know what I'm saying? So be fruitful and multiply. Why do we need to multiply? So that we can continue to send the energy on. We have a beginning and we have an end. So and until we depart this realm, we're gonna have to do things, take care of our health, eat right, drink right, get plenty of sun, get plenty of water. I mean, that's a necessity. That's not something that man is going to eventually evolve out of. I mean, man has to live, and these are the dynamics in which God needs to stay alive on this earth.
So
He
why
has to
can't
eat.
we practice telekinesis? Why can
You
we not
can.
read minds and
You
communicate
can.
without
You
speaking and
can.
without electronic equipment,
You
for
can.
example,
You
or
can.
levitate above the earth?
You can. The pyramids in Egypt, right? Those blocks are like they say,
Yes.
okay. That's considered one of what is the eighth wonders or ninth wonders of the world.
Yes.
Why is it called a wonder? It's called a wonder because white folk can't seem to figure out how in the hell did these niggas build these pyramids?
Yeah.
These
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. They with all the highest sciences that they have today, they cannot replicate that. They
Mm-hmm.
can't. They cannot duplicate it. That's why it's called a
With
wonder.
their technology. Well,
Right. So,
Stonehenge is the same.
but
Stonehenge is the same. They can't
but
understand how
but
those rocks got halfway from Wales to England with with
but
with the technology they had at that time.
yeah, but the gods that were on the planet at that time, they were more they were less corrupt than us. And this is what I'm
Right.
trying to explain. They were less corrupt. They were more in their godly nature, and they
Right.
and they and they used and they utilized higher sciences well beyond this world, and they did things like that. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it was nothing for them to do that because they weren't a corrupted people like we are today. But again, from that time up to now, that man has transgressed. And to prove my point of what I'm saying, this is why you always find um, the Caucasian always using his archaeological research. Why are they constantly going around the planet trying to figure out what are they looking for? What
Mm-hmm.
and what they're looking for is they know those black people at that particular time, they had a science that they used to build those pyramids, and we can't even figure out how they did it. They want to know
Mm-hmm.
what that is. They're looking for, this is why we found this is 16 in the 6th century and all this other stuff. They're looking for the hidden sciences that the gods at
Hmm.
that time were utilizing on the planet.
Right.
But
Yeah,
but
that
but
makes sense.
but we have transgressed so far to this point to where you're absolutely right. You're asking the question, but again, it's almost like, you remember that movie Golden Child with Eddie Murphy?
Yes. Yes.
If you go back, and I tell people all the time, study that. In that one particular scene, when Eddie Murphy and them went into the room, and the Golden Child was sitting, they had him inside that little cage, that cage that was inside that pentagram. Remember? And
Yes.
it had the candles all the way around it. And the white guy, Saddam Nupsi, he would have that dude come and bring him, look like some oatmeal, right? Look like some oatmeal. And then when the guy left, the golden child took the spoon and he poked down into the oatmeal, and there was blood in there, right? And so he didn't eat it. But if you remember, if you go back and you look at that, if you remember, he had a little green leaf, like a little branch or something, in his belt, and he took it out of his belt. He broke off one leaf and he ate it. And see, and right then and there, see, they put things in movies that we just take for entertainment, but there's really a degree of science behind it. And basically what it was saying was the golden child had all that power, right? He could levitate, he could move things with his mind, and he can do this, and he could do that, because one, he
Mm-hmm.
didn't he didn't take in meat, he didn't take in blood animals, and he was a vegetarian.
Mm.
So
And that's what but if you go back and you look at the cage he was in, I'm landing this plane right now. If you go back and look at the cage he was in, when Eddie Murphy and them went in there and asked Eddie Murphy said, wait a minute. He said he can get out. He can leave at any time. Like, why is he still sitting in there? And then the lady goes, no, you don't understand. He's surrounded. See, this is why they have these things around here. But he can't. He could get up and just walk right through the bar. I mean, it was only like 3 or 4 bars from what I remember. But he said, wait a minute, he can get up and leave. Why is he here? I mean, he can just get up and walk away. She said, you don't understand. He can't. They have him surrounded. And basically what that means is that they have a 360-degree circle of distraction, of influence, of different things that are preventing him from leaving. That is
Right.
us. Today we got drugs, alcohol, all kind of fuckery, porn. We have all these distractions, racism, sexism, classism, colorism. We have all of these distractions that the enemy uses because he understands who we are, and he knows that there is no mystery God and that God is man. But like he said, this is one small step for man, but this is one giant leap for us. We've been doing stuff like that. They're the new ones on the planet, and they're trying to figure out how they can become like us. And I yield.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. If you go read, you say you haven't read the
So
Quran.
you're kind of saying then that black people should I say people of color are more superior than people of limited melanin.
What I am saying is, if you wish to use that language, that's fine. That still would be true, but I believe the better way of explaining that would be you have what's called an original man, and then you have other than original. And it's already a scientific fact. You cannot get black from white, but everything else comes from black.
Okay,
That is
so
a
where
scientific
do
fact.
the Orientals fit in?
Where are they written?
Where do the Orientals fit in?
Well, they are a grafted people, just like everyone else. Just as this is why when you look at the color spectrum of people, what do they say? It goes black, brown, red, yellow, and white. And over the centuries, when you graft from black, what do you get? You get brown. You continue to graft down from brown, what do you get? You get the Native American, quote unquote Native American, which is red. You continue to graft down again, and what do you get? Even take even more pigment from that. What do you get? You get yellow. And ultimately, when you graft from yellow, what do you get? You get the Caucasian.
So they was the last. So basically, they was the last design.
They are the last people who were grafted from original. Yes. And they understand, and Tom was you really hit on some stuff. You was really on point with some stuff, because what it basically boils down to is they get us with their interpretation that they sell us. It's not that the Bible. If you read the Torah, the Bible, and the Holy Quran. If you read all three of them in principle will say the exact same thing. It's only when you get into interpretation is when people start freaking out. But the pillars are all the same. Thou shalt not steal. I mean, and these are things that thou shalt not kill. Outside of the law of killing. What I'm saying? Thou shalt not covet thy brother's wife. These are things.
Thou shalt worship no other god.
Exactly. When it comes to religion, I guess this is the best way that I could put it, that we were taught in the Nation of Islam. When it comes to religion, we are taught that a religion of a thing is based in its nature in which it was created. So you could easily prove to anyone that Christianity is not a real religion, because in Christianity they teach. Well, I guess aspects. In Christianity, they teach if someone slaps you, turn the other cheek, right? Because by nature, If Seven, if you was walking down the street and some guy just came up and just smacked the shit out of you, I can promise you that the last thing you thinking about is turning the other cheek. And I
uh,
think that anybody, you put anybody through that test, and everybody will fail that test. Well, why is that?
mm,
Because that's not your nature. Your nature automatically tells you you need to defend yourself. This is
right.
somebody's putting your life in danger. You're gonna respond in kind. That's the natural response to that. So if somebody gives you a teaching and they say this is your religion, study it and live by it, and in it it says, oh, so if somebody hits me, I'm supposed to turn the other cheek. Yeah, turn to page 2. What does it say? Oh, it says if somebody steals my pants, give them my jacket. Yeah, that part too. Oh, okay.
Mm.
So you see, that doesn't make sense.
But
It
see,
doesn't
this is what
vibe
I'm.
with
This,
your
but
nature.
bro, this is what I'm trying to say to you. But I was trying to say before, right? How they edit it for their people. They edit it for the people, so they want their people, the Christian people, to be more humble. Run to the police, call the police, let the police handle it. That's the message that they're giving. Show love. Just don't fight back. Throw the police. Let the police handle it. Let us, the government. So it's getting the government paid kind of thing. It, like I said before, like they've been doctored for the wrong people. Each thingy, Bob, religion, whatever it's called, has been created for their people. You understand? They haven't touched the Quran. I respect that the Quran's come, drop down, and they haven't touched it. Nothing, boom, boom, boom. The Christians touched it for some reason because they wanted to control. This is what I think. It makes sense, right? Because first it said, before it said, show the other cheek. First it said, defend your shit or some shit. An eye for an eye or some shit, it said, right? You get me? And now it says, show the other cheek. So, yeah, that's how I look at it. But for me, it all started in one place.
Uh-huh.
For me, it all started in one place. They came and gave the message in one place, and boom, boom, boom. And everybody else took it, ran with it for their own people. That's just the way I look at religion. But I know for a fact that the Bible is bullshit because, as I said, they gave it to people. It's not even for black. Let me just say that it's not for black people because they didn't want to give it to black people after slavery, but then they ended up giving it to black people, and now, and it's
For
the
the
same
means
as
for the means to keep us mentally enslaved. Yes, sir.
right. And this is what I think about all religions. It's all plan. It's all doing that job. It's all. I just believe in God, and that's that. I don't need religion. I don't need religion.
Yeah.
Just God is all I need. I know the energy is real. I'm here. Just the way the world works. I'm on about nature. I understand that for every injury or sickness, there's a cure. There
But don't you
definitely is a
think?
cure.
But don't you
I
think that
just
energy that you feel is the energy of your ancestors in the atmosphere?
well, yeah. I feel it in me. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, because that's what I think. I mean, we are energy. So I think when we die, we just return to a different form of energy.
Yeah, we go back to energy. I think we all come back. Like I believe in reincarnation.
Yeah, I believe in
So
reincarnation.
I do believe that whenever there's a death, someone's born.
Yeah,
Like my nan died and my sister had the baby 5 minutes after.
exactly.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like female as well. It was a girl. My nan died and then my sister had a baby girl. She didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow,
But I
maybe
think
she jumped
I
in.
think it's very interesting, Yoda, that the the Jewish community do not accept black Jews.
That is
I
true.
mean, and I mean there are pockets that do, because I have seen black Jewish men marry black Jewish women. I have seen that in
Can
very
I say one thing?
tiny
Can I say one
communities.
thing? I'm sorry. I'm on your point. And you are right, but they're not going to get into heaven any quicker. If, like they're moving black people off their circle and replacing them with what themselves, whatever, right? But that's just for human eyes. Once they leave this earth and they have to go up against God, what do you think is going to happen then?
You see,
These are the things that I don't understand.
well,
Sorry, carry on though.
this is the thing that I don't believe. I really struggle with this, and Muslims do it, Jews do it, Christians do it. It's all about doing good deeds while they're alive, and that sort of paves their way into heaven. That to me smacks of some kind of bribery.
Can I say one thing to you, right?
I don't like that interpretation. I understand what you're saying, but I don't like that interpretation because I'm sorry, Seven. Go ahead. You want to go?
No. That's all right. Carry on. You can talk. Your turn.
Because ultimately, it's what your understanding of what heaven is. There's nothing wrong with doing good in order to enter heaven, but it's how do you understand that? There's two sides to that coin. Now, in an ignorant mind of a deaf, dumb, and blind individual, they're thinking about, oh, if I do good, then I'm basically, paying it forward so that one day when I die, I'm going to go somewhere up in space, and I'm going to be up there with milk and honey and roads that go. There's that element of it, versus where if you flip the coin over, then the more correct interpretation of that is, when the scripture says do unto others as you would want others to do unto you, that principle within itself brings about a heaven here while we live on this earth. So if I give Tom and Seven the love and respect that I want them to give me, then as we reciprocate the same love and the principles that surround love and respect, then we create a heavenly environment for ourselves.
But the real argument there, Yoda, is the argument of suffering. The Christianity preaches that, we suffer on earth so that we may be free when we're in heaven.
Yeah, and that's a part of the slave teaching. This is why they gave us their version of Christianity. That's why, and also, if you read it in the Bible, it also talks about the slave taking many stripes from his master.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's them telling us, look, you don't worry about how we're treating you right now. You just be a good slave, continue to do what we tell you to do, and when you die, that's when you will get your reward.
Isn't that just the worst? For me, that breaks my heart that people will actually believe that. People actually suffered that.
Yeah.
And it takes away people's power to look for justice or to look for equality or to look for peace of mind while they're on this earth.
That's the whole point.
I just think that's just the most cruel,
diabolical.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Because it's okay for you to beat me, but I can't beat you back because of the color of my skin. And then on the next page, turn the other cheek.
Right.
It's so hypocritical.
But it's a different day now. We are living in a different day. And if you understand the scriptures halfway properly, you will understand the exact time that we are living in based on the scriptures. When you read the Bible, even if the Bible has been tampered with, okay, if you still read it, there's still some truths in the Bible that are good. It's almost like, because a lot of people say, because I go into the Bible a lot, they say, but you're a Muslim.
I'm listening to a version on audio books.
Right.
Because I'm not going to sit there and read it page for page, but I will listen to it. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so everybody will say, even the most common person will say that the Bible has been tampered with. Okay, so you have to be careful when you read it and when you interpret it. It's almost, and I tell people the analogy.
But hold on, Yoda. I think that is the crux of the problems with any religious book: interpretation. Why can we just not accept the literal words in front of us? Why do we have to interpret? Because once we interpret, we start changing.
Well,
if it says "do not eat pork," right? If the Bible, if any religious book just says "do not eat pork," then what? Why challenge that? Just don't eat pork.
Well, that's something.
Don't create artificial pork that we can eat. Do you see what I mean?
No, but I'm just telling you, but these are the people that are going against God.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. Your argument is with Satan himself.
Right.
It's not necessarily with the people. the people are under the tune of the Pied Piper, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, and then because we live in a world that allows us to exercise the lower desires of ourselves, you see what I'm saying? You know,
Mhm.
you know, some of us, you know, it's very hard. You know, I still struggle. You know, I'm striving to be a better man and a better person and a better father and a better son. I'm striving to be better every day, but still, you know, there are things that I do that I struggle with, and I know that,
Mm.
it's just one of those things. You know, when you've come from when you come from generational, nobody has gone through what we have gone through on the planet.
Yep.
You know, and you come from that, you know, 400-500 generations of that. You know, that's something that's damn near encoded in your DNA. And we
Right,
still,
right.
you know,
Yep.
so it's not something that you can just open up a book and it says, oh, it says right here, don't do that. So now I'm not going to do that anymore. No, you're going to
But
struggle with
doesn't
that.
but Yoda, doesn't that conflict with having, and I say this in quotation marks, a
Mhm.
white God? For black people to have been so oppressed, or melanated people to have been so oppressed for hundreds of years, to
Mhm.
see their savior as a white God.
No, but see, you look at God as a old man.
Well, you step into any church and you'll see a picture of Jesus, and he won't
Yeah,
be black.
exactly. But that's how you picture him as
Well,
how they portrayed him.
but that's my whole point. Is black people have been living under suffrage from day one, and yet we have been brainwashed into believing that this white Jesus, because every Jamaican home has got white Jesus in it, you
Besides
know,
my mom.
you know, that white Jesus is the savior, whereas white
Just, but
Jesus
that's
is the
how they sold it.
oppressor.
That's how they sold it. That's how they sold Jamaican guts to Jamaicans too. You know.
That's the point
Yeah.
I'm making.
Remember,
If
remember,
you
remember,
gave your
remember,
mum a
remember,
picture
remember.
of a
Black,
black,
listen. Hold on. Black people are spiritual, so we didn't need no Bible thing like that.
but we
So
had our own faith.
hold on, let me just say. So when England sold the Bible over there to Jamaica too, you know, trying to say, and got them to believe in the God and all that. You get me? So black people were just dumbed down to the effects. That's all.
Why don't you take your mummy a picture of a black Jesus and see what she says to that?
What do you mean? What she says?
I'm
I'll
gonna tell
get her
you what she
one.
says. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you what she says.
I will actually get one.
Yeah. I was raised in the church. You know, but when I turned 18, my mother told me, she said, you're 18 now, so you grown, so, I can't force you to keep going to church. That's something that you're going to have to, if God calls you to go to church, and that's what it is. So I was like, cool, bet. It never really fit me, so I just quit going. But when I joined the nation about 5 years later, and I came home and told my mom, yeah, I'm joining the nation, I'm going to be a Muslim. Oh, man. Mom, about my mother, she told me something. She held it to herself for all them years, and she finally told me about 20 years later after I joined the nation. She said, I want to tell you something. She said, that time you came home and you told me that you were joining the nation. Um, she said I told myself when when you left that she said I felt like I failed you, like I failed my son. That's what my mother
Oh,
said.
what you say that though?
Yeah, she said I failed you. But that was then. So 20 years later, when she finally told me that, when we and it's weird because you think you know your parents, right? You
Mm.
think that's my mom, yada yada yada. But you can really, there's a real thin line between you being uh, your parents' child versus a stranger to your parents.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's a
Yeah.
real thing.
Yeah.
Because if they believe in something so strong that
Right. So
that
just
is
in chat.
against you, they will. I mean, you could be a stranger just like that.
Right, bro. Let me tell you a recent kind of story, recent-ish. Same thing what happened with my family. Like,
Uh,
let me just tell you a bit version of it. So, I was speaking to me and my mom was talking about. So I can't remember. It kind of got into like she starts preaching every now and then. You understand? So she went into a preaching mode, and then she was trying to say, that I don't believe in God. I was like, Mom, how can you say that? Boom, 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 boom. So we're going back and forth. And then she was like, I said to her, Mom, my God was with me throughout my sentences, God was with me in prison. You understand? He was there for me. Like, he was there for me. You know what I'm trying to say? And she was like, blah, blah, blah. Somehow she turned it into, we haven't got the same God. Because I said, my God's real. My God, blah, 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 blah. And then she turned it into like, God wouldn't do such a thing. Go to a prison and be around such a thing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then she made it into like, we haven't got the same God. Matter of fact, blah, blah, blah. Don't talk to me again. Da, 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 da. I was like, whoa, oh, so you're going to, you're going to blah, blah, blah,
That's
your own
because
son.
her God
I said, no,
only goes to
hold
good
on.
places.
I said to her, yo, so what you saying? You're kicking your own son away. Me, you're kicking your own son away. Like Lorraine did to blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no, I'm not saying that, but just don't bother me for a bit. See, I made her wake up because my sister, who's also a Jehovah's Witness, done the same thing to her son. So I used that as an example. I said, what? So you're doing the same thing to me like them two just did, kind of thing. And she kind of paused. Like just breaking up the whole family over religion, this fake ass God of yours. I was going in on my mom at that point. Going in, you understand? Like, and she was just paused for a minute, and then she was like, just don't talk to me for a bit, get me and get off the phone.
That's funny.
Serious though, man, that's for real shit. What you see when they're in the religion, if you're not part of the team,
Yeah.
then they will kick you to the curb.
Exactly.
Family or no family, they don't care.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, just like that. I was like, is this your God? This is what I said to my mom. I said, is this your God? You just break up like blah, blah. I can't think of the word I said, not break up, the family. I can't remember the words I said. And I said, this is what your God is. I said, this ain't my God. My God's about love and truth and blah, blah, blah. My God would never tell me to disrespect my mom like that or whatever. I made her think. I must have made her think. I must have got it because I'm making her know that my God is truth. My God is love. My God is nature. My God is life. That means creation. That's why I always call the black woman God, because it makes sense in that kind of aura kind of way, creation. Do you understand? That's why I've always said it. And that's how I speak to my mom. But she like spirits and all this blah blah blah, and she just talks down at the certain things that bring her truth about things, and she just whatever. It's like I hear a demon. It's like I hear a demon talking sometimes. Like that's a religion, though. That's the religion stuff. Understand? Just talk to me like a person. Get me? Have God in your heart. You don't have to speak out the book to me, though.
Right.
I want to hear you talk to me, like. But yeah, sorry about that, people. But yeah,
No,
crazy.
Yeah, man. It can go to 0-100 real quick.
Real quick, bro.
Well, just bring home the wrong religion.
Real quick, man. You
Just bring home
understand?
a Hindu or a Sikh.
I can't believe how quick I was like, don't ever call me again, blah, blah. I was like, what? I'm sorry. Let's carry on. Use that talk, man. You got me thinking about that shit.
No, but it's there is a joke. It's not really funny, but it's you die, you get to the pearly gates, St. Peter's standing there, and he asks you your name. You give him your name, and he says, "Sorry, you're not coming in. You've been praying to the wrong God all these years." So it's. I mean,
but okay, then let me ask you this question: how do you know who's the real one?
Well, you don't.
Obviously, that's a stupid, dumb question because there's only one. But it's like a curse. It's like hold on. It's like a curse, though. If you're chanting somebody else's name, not knowing whose name it is, like you might think it's God, but you could be saying, like when people say Jesus' real name is Zeus. Get me? Because it was because there was no J. Listen. There was no J's back then.
In the Hebrew Bible.
Jesus. His name was Zeus back then. That's what his name was. Then they put the J on. This is facts. Look it up.
Yeah, I
Look
know.
it
Oh,
up,
okay. I
man.
know
I
what
know
you're
the
talking about.
letter
Yeah.
J was missing. Yeah, I know the letter J was missing.
I was like, yeah, man.
But
So it's just
but we have to remember that black people or melanated people have their own religion. Their religion just isn't one that is in the written format. You know, go to Haiti, they had their own religion. Go to Africa, they have their own religion. The religion is passed down by word of mouth. It's not written in words. Go to
right,
Ethiopia, you know,
but do you understand why though? Because it's for their people.
exactly.
Like I'm saying, God didn't visit every country. He didn't
Why
drop down there
Jesus?
like every like, just see. I just want you to try and understand, try and get the picture in your head.
No, I
What could
do.
have happened?
I
You know,
do. But I'm just saying, it's
it's
funny
like
how the
everybody
whole
go. It's
world
like
doesn't like
hold on.
Jesus.
Let me just say this though. It's like everybody going to the concert, right? And everyone using their phones, taking their phones out, getting different sides of the concert, right? And then labeling it something else, labeling it their own names. It's
Yeah.
kind of thing. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, maybe that didn't sound too right, but I'm just trying to say
But
they got this.
you said that you're a part of the nation.
Uh-huh.
I don't know an awful lot about the nation, so I'm going to sound incredibly uneducated. But I've always viewed the nation as being more of a political group rather than a religious group.
Nah, that's just the First Nation. The Nation of Islam. You know what? I've got nothing but respect for them. You understand? I used to follow them when I was watching thingy about Speaker's Corner. You know what I'm trying to
Is
say?
it Chester Johnson? Is it Chester's whatever his
Yeah,
name?
that
Yeah,
black guy.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to like. It's not even that I've gone off him or nothing, but just just stop
Yeah, but the
listening, kind of
nation
thing.
killed what's his name?
Every religion's done some mad shit.
They killed what's his name? Malcolm X.
Who?
Who did?
Nation.
Nation of Islam. So is that what you?
Oh no.
Yeah, they did.
That's not true.
I'm not commenting on this subject.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yes,
I
they
understand.
did.
I understand why people still say that to this
Yeah, but
day,
they
but
did. But
yeah,
they
it's not
did.
true.
But they did.
They actually
Just
didn't, but
like the
okay.
Jews killed Jesus. I mean, nobody wants to admit it, but it's the truth.
Jesus.
Yeah, they
I,
voted for him. They had to choose between voting for Barabbas or for
is that
Jesus.
that
So they
thing? Is that
voted
that
for
say,
Jesus.
is that that same thing you're talking about? That young Pharaoh exposed with that other guy with the dicky bow. Have you seen that skinny? There's like a man. It's like a black man. I'm sure he's a part of the nation, and he wears a dicky bow sometimes
Oh, I know who you're talking about. No, I'm not talking about that.
and glasses,
Yeah, I'm not talking
and he's
about that.
skinny.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Jews killed Jesus. It's quite clear they voted for Jesus to be hung, and the nation killed Malcolm X. They were,
Are you sure? Are you sure?
they were part of the conspiracy. I believe
Is that
so.
right?
All right, let me ask you a question. Right. Oh, so is that what happened though? Did the Jews really kill thingy?
Yes, they did.
Okay, I didn't see. I don't even know all these little, you know what I'm saying, the storytelling things. Anyway, carry on, you two.
Yeah. Where do you get your evidence from that the nation killed
Are
Malcolm?
you stuttering? Are you
No,
stuttering there?
not at all.
Did you? Wait.
Where'd you get your evidence?
Tom's high. Tom's high.
I told you. It's part of the conspiracy. They were part of the conspiracy to kill Malcolm X because of jealousy. It was that simple.
Is that right?
Elijah Muhammad, yeah, he wanted to
Is that
be, he didn't want the competition from Malcolm X.
is that the same thing that young Pharaoh was talking about that one
Yes,
time though?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I asked you before. Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
I thought you were talking about ghetto intellect.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I would like to see the evidence behind that.
But you wouldn't be able to accept that evidence,
Sure
would
I
you?
would.
Because
Sure I
you're
would.
part of the nation.
Sure I
That
would. No.
if the evidence proved that the nation was behind or was a part of the conspiracy to remove Malcolm X, you would be conflicted. One feels.
Here's what my rebuttal to everything that you just said would be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it really ties into really this entire conversation.
Yeah,
right?
please.
Because the scriptures, as we know it, whether you talk about the Torah, the Bible, or the Holy Quran, you know, 75 to 80% of what you read is prophetic, which means that 75 to 80% of what you read in the Bible or the Holy Quran or the Torah is giving you a story of what's going to happen, right? But the enemy took that and flipped it. So for the most part, the masses of the people believe that the Jesus of 2,000 years ago is a person that from 2,000 years ago, when in actuality is because the enemy has flipped the scriptures. It's actually talking about a future man. So it's talking about a Jesus that is to come, not one that has already died and now he's telling everybody, oh, just 2,000 years later, don't worry, Jesus is going to come back on 2000.
Yeah.
Okay, but
well, can I just interject, because let us be sensible in this. Any person that came around and said, I am Jesus 2.0, is going to get sectioned by the psychiatrist, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Tom Foley is funny, you know.
But it's the truth. That person is going to get sectioned by the mental health team.
Well, I guess I would agree to an extent. However,
you start saying, Yoda, I'm going to start turning water into wine. I'm going to start feeding the thousands with 5 fish and 2 loaves of bread. You start saying, I'm going to bring this person back to life. I can do these miracles.
You know something.
You are getting locked up in what's
Tom,
that? Location 51. Area 51 straight away.
Tom. Jesus is going to come in the form of somebody with a message to say, and he'll probably have, now listen, and he's probably going to have something, it's probably, how there's some people out here and like they just get noticed, they got like with a message to say, or they just blow up because there's a song they've got or something. He's going to come in the form in that kind of way. He'll have like a message be noticed, when everyone hears his words, like Jesus, Andrew Tate or something like that. No, somebody, hold on. Can I just finish can I finish what I'm saying, please? I'm just trying to say it's going to be somebody, right? And everybody's just going to hear the message and they're going to want to follow him, just like an Andrew Tate come on the field or something like that, who instantly just blows up because they got like a message. I think it would be something like that, if he does come back. Anyway, carry on. I'm sorry, everybody.
So basically, Kendrick Lamar could be Jesus. We just haven't been filled in between the lines yet.
Say that again.
Someone like Kendrick Lamar could be the new Jesus 2.0. We just haven't been filled in.
Yeah, or it could,
you could be the Jesus that the scriptures is talking.
No,
Let me explain. Because there's nothing special about me. I'll just be another crazy guy to throw back in the back of the classroom. There's nothing special about me. But let me explain what I'm saying. Because according to the scriptures, this Jesus character is given certain characteristics.
Okay. What
right?
do you know what those characteristics are?
Yes, he makes the deaf hear. He makes the lame speak. He makes the blind see. Right? So
damn, has he been in the beef sector then?
So how can she do that, bro?
So we're talking. This is talking about. It's not talking about. It's not talking about somebody who's actually their eyes don't work. What it's talking about is it's talking about an individual, that is still under the spell of the enemy, and they can't see through the illusion of what the enemy is saying.
That sounds like the government's going to lock them up for being a spy.
So when if somebody's living under a truth, you said it earlier when we were talking about whatever, I forget what we were talking about. You're like, isn't that so diabolical that somebody would do somebody like that they would trick somebody for all these 400 years and whatnot? Well, what would you expect to do? What would you expect for an enemy who has for for 400, 500 years, took these people from over here, brought them over here, enslaved them, made them work for free, put them through everything that they done put them through, and the generations of offsprings that came up out of that, who are fighting for actual freedom, but are still fighting against the very thing, the mental slavery that
Yes.
the enemy has installed in them. And this is where this Jesus, quote unquote, Jesus character comes in, because Jesus comes to give the
Hope
blind
and peace.
the truth, to show them, to help them see the reality of what is.
Yes. This Jesus sounds like a black guy on the block. This black Jesus, when he comes, there's going to be a problem.
You're a joker.
There's
Well,
going to be a problem.
he actually already has came. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Well, tell me that.
Right, right. That's a fact. That's a fact.
You think he's been and gone?
Yes, yes. Look how old them books are, man. He's been and come, been back again and gone. He left his keys.
Did he say later?
Yeah, he said to me, he said later. That's the safe.
He's I'm just going to get some milk.
No, I'm not. I'm not even disrespecting Jesus. I'm saying real talk. Like,
I'm just messing with you, Yoda. But you've
It's
you
all
know,
good.
it's been really good talking to you, because you clearly know your stuff, and I love it, because I'm learning. I love learning. And you've made me think about things in different ways, and things I need to go away and read on.
Praise be to Allah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Just tell me one thing. Why can we not have a picture of Allah?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Why
you.
can we not have a picture of Allah? Why is that so crazy?
Well, we're told in the scriptures to not make any image of him.
Yeah, but why?
And then he says, ye are all God's children of the Most High God. And then he also says, how can you say you love me, whom you've never seen, but hate your brother who you see every day? He's telling you, and this goes back to the very first thing that I said in the conversation. We are, in fact, God himself. But we have been given such a spooky aspect of what God is, has been instilled in us so heavy, that we simply cannot fathom the fact that, wait a minute, you're talking about the God that created everything, that created the very air that you breathe. You're telling me that I'm not. Yes, I'm telling you that. And guess what? Here's the newsflash. Everybody else that is non black on the planet, they know that. They understand that. This is why they are working night and day to keep you from your salvation, because they understand the scriptures, one, and they understand.
Well, do you know what, Yoda? Well, you say something there that came to me the other day, and I was thinking, for as long as I can go back and research, the less melanated population have always been in awe of the more melanated population, and they've always had to put them down. They've never allowed them to rise. And even modern day now, black men are still seen as a threat to white men. Black man's just walking down the road minding his own business, singing Sweet Chariot, and a white man will still see him as a threat.
Okay.
And if we are so powerful as individuals that we frighten the other races, when are we going to wake up and realize that we have that power?
And see, you really just you already have the answer to that. We just discussed that.
Yeah.
And this is why the scriptures are so necessary, because again, 75% of what's in the scripture is talking about something that's going to happen. It's not talking about a Jesus of 2,000 years ago. It's talking about an individual, this Jesus figure that will come. And when he comes, he's going to be a light upon the world. But what is light? Light is something that takes us out of our mental darkness. So as he begins to give his life-giving teaching of truth, right? And as people began to take it in, the more of the deaf, dumb, and blind of the masses begin to take that truth in, it begins to diminish and erase a lot of the darkness and misconceptions and misinterpretations and just flat out lies that lie within them. So they begin to see reality as it is, and they are brought out of the spell of the enemy, which is keeping them deaf, dumb, and blind, so that the enemy can continue to, to enslave them, oppress them, and use them.
It's a very scary proposition. It's very, very scary to come into your own power. I think would be incredible, but I think it's also overwhelming.
According to the scriptures, it says, and I'm sure you're aware of this. It says, the tail will become the head.
Yeah.
The bottom shall become the top, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. So we've already been given the roadmap to how this whole thing is going to take place. It's just that we have beams in our eyes, and we and our ears aren't as are a little clogged up. So we need to hear a certain truth.
We're distracted. Yeah.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
The bottom shall become the top. That sounds like a great flood. That sounds like we're going to be all buried underwater and the oceans will rule.
When you deal with heaven and hell, and I'll leave you guys to this. When you deal with the aspects of how we interpret heaven and hell because of how it was interpreted for us and instilled in us, it was instilled in us in a very mysterious, a very spooky manner.
Mm-hmm.
To where we're taught that, well, where's God? Well, he's everywhere. He's omnipresent. He's everywhere. God does not work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Right. That's a fact.
So the fact is, when it comes to the oppressor, he understands who he is and he understands who we are. And he understands that if these gods ever wake up to the fact that they are in fact gods, and that we hid that knowledge from them, and that they ever come into that hidden knowledge that we will not be able to continue to oppress, misuse, and everything else. So the enemy's whole aim and purpose is to keep us in the darkness. So when the Jesus comes with that truth that will awaken the masses, yes, they know that we need to move to kill Jesus. Why? It's because if we don't, we're going to lose everything, because he's going to begin to bring these dry bones in the valley up, and then they're going to move against us. You see what I'm saying? So
we've got thousands of years of oppression.
Right, absolutely. So anybody that would stand up to raise up the deaf, dumb, and blindness of the masses of black people on the planet is in fact a Jesus.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Martin Luther King was a Jesus. Fred Hampton was a Jesus. Malcolm was a Jesus. Elijah Muhammad is. Farrakhan is in our midst. So Harriet Tubman was in our midst. Sojourner Truth was.
Yeah.
So anytime you have a person that is awakened from the darkness of the enemy, of the teachings of the enemy, and now they're risking their lives to go back and forth to free she said, I freed thousands of slaves, and I would have freed thousands more if only they had known they were slaves. See, they were still operating under the mental darkness. You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, so how will you know who this Jesus person is? You look at that person who is the most feared today, who the enemy is constantly attacking today, and that'll be your answer. That'll be your answer. So, and if Jesus comes, why would you not expect the enemy to tell you that this person is no good?
But bro, what you're saying is,
That this person. Go ahead.
but basically, all that what you're saying is that the Bible's right. Then that's what
There are
you're saying
aspects.
because you're saying Jesus because he was basically the most hated. You know, put him on the cross and whatever they done to him. You know, and the way you just explained it, he was the most hated. Like I see other religions hating on him, like I do. So if he does, well, you're just saying that the Bible is the right
Moses,
one.
Moses and Jesus are one. Moses, Moses had the same exact
Steady,
message. The same exact.
steady
Ex-
with that.
No, no,
yeah,
they had different.
yeah.
Well, I heard them two had different messages.
No. Listen, no. Follow what I'm saying.
Well,
Again, it goes it
Moses
goes
went to the
down.
mountain.
It goes down to um, it goes down to the transgression of the people. And this is what I mean. There is no one prophet that's better than the other.
Right,
If God sends somebody to go reveal a revelation that brings them back to the path, that's just simply what it is. So this is why you have a Moses and an Abraham and Elijah and all these figures throughout history. You know
hmm
what I'm saying? Noah. God told me there's
Yeah.
going to be a great flood. Some chose to bear the testimony. Others chose to forbear. It was it was what it was. So God has always sent somebody from among the people to bring them when they've deviated off the path to bring them back to Him. It's something that and it's coming to a head now.
I found out about that. I found out about Noah's Ark. You know
Yeah.
how the story says he had elephants and chickens
Yeah.
and
2 by
rhinoceros.
2.
That's all lies.
Yeah,
He had a
yeah.
few animals on there, like just animals from the cut. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Right. Yeah,
but
yeah.
but the man tried to make out like he had all sorts of animals
Did he
walking on
have
that boat.
2 ants on there?
Why did Tom
Huh?
say careful though? Why'd you say careful? He said careful. What's up
Because
with that?
controversial, saying Moses and Jesus were the one and the same. Very
No,
controversial.
no, but you understand how I'm saying. I'm saying in terms of they both were given a message to give to the people that would bring them
Yes.
back to God.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
not saying that's
But
all
do
that
you
I'm
remember
saying.
God said, I am a jealous God?
Which and all that means is worship no God but me.
Exactly.
That's all it means.
And there are how many? So is it possible that all of these different religions and all of these different names they have for their gods is just different names for the same God?
Right.
Well, in Islam we talk
But
to
that's what I'm
Jesus.
trying to say. Like I was saying
I
before
like
about
how
casting
Yoda
spells.
mumbles under his breath.
That's what that's what I was trying to talk about before about casting spells, saying the wrong name. You could be conjuring up another person. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about.
So
What's saying in
Yoda,
this conversation?
is it the same? Is it the same God with different names?
I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
Well,
That's the
because
same. That
Stephen is Stefan, is Stephen with a V and Stephen with a PH. You know, it's the same names, just spelled differently.
Yeah, but are you saying it the same way?
here's the thing with that.
Hmm.
We live in a five-dimensional world, if you will, right? But at the end of the day, the same life force that is in me is within you. It comes from the same place,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? We merely procreate just to keep the energy going, if you will.
Right. Right.
It's still the same. But the flip side to that is when I say that man is God, I'm giving you actual factual. Because there's always why do you think they refer to God as the supreme being? He is the supreme being, which means that he is one that has that is most he's most knowledgeable. He's most merciful. He's most beneficent. He's he he is a vessel, if you will. He is a vessel that contains the ultimate knowledge. And he's a man that actually walks on the earth. And this is why you can go to Egypt and you can look at the pyramids.
But you
But
know what?
it wasn't a ghost that did that. It was actually people that actually did that. You
But,
follow what I'm saying?
but you know what? Why names are dangerous with me, right? Like in the UK, we got like the House of Lords, or they might lordship somebody, and you got also relate the word Lord with God. You know what I'm trying to say? So there's many gods, like man have tried to be gods, like demigods or whatever the name is, right? Men are today trying to be gods. So I just think it's just all, I don't know. I don't know what to say, man.
Well,
I don't know.
when I hear what Yoda has just said, that God is within man, what I actually take from that is people rise up, know your power. That's what comes into my brain.
Exactly. But it's dormant and it's hidden under the rubbish. When you dig for gold, when they dig for gold, and you can go look it up, there's a thing, when they find gold, the gold is covered in what's called dross. And this dross is described as unusable, basically like the muck. It's a hardened muck to where you have to throw it in fire, burn it off to get down to, and process it to get down to the actual gold. It's the same with us.
I've got a question for both of you. I bet you can't answer it right. I bet you can't. Just check this right. I have to break it down for you first, though. What do we know of the white man, the European man, shall we say like that? What do we know of them? Do we know of them that they go around and they gather all the riches, anything that's like worth something, and they claim it, right? Can we agree to that? Anything that's worth anything, like real, like they claim it in it. They will just walk right in there and take it, basically. The jewelry, gold, the scriptures, right? We know that of the white man, right? So let me ask you this question. Going back to religion, we got the Quran and we got what's it called? Christian thing, whatever it's called, right?
Christianity.
And we know that the white man takes all the riches, everything that's worth real value, that's the truth, and they put it in their laughs and stuff like that. So my question will be this: why did they claim the Bible and not the Quran? I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. Why have they claimed the Bible and not the Quran? If the Quran is the real deal, and trust me, these guys know shit that we don't know. They've got scriptures that we don't know in their laughs. They know some shit, right? Think about this.
We don't speak Arabic.
No. Hold on. Let me just hold on. But I just want you to really think about that. Why did they not claim it? They would. You know what the white man's like. They would have claimed that shit. They would have claimed it for themselves.
But they didn't know what it was.
The Quran is a protected book.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what it was. They wouldn't be able to read it. They wouldn't understand it. They wouldn't.
But listen, they've got connections to make that happen, though. See, you're missing the point, Tom. You're missing how. Listen, I need you to think about what I'm saying. They've got connections to read that shit.
Well,
we're talking about the government, those guys.
Can we just say that Christianity is not a true religion? We do know that, don't we?
Right. Okay. Cool. So we'll start there.
Christianity is not a true religion, whereas because
in fact you're wrong there. Actually, you can't say that.
Has no pillars of
listen, Christianity. Listen, the Quran refers you to the Bible to go read that. The Quran, so you can't. But listen. Okay, listen. You see, this is my argument with all this, right? Because in my head, God comes first. In my head, God would have come down to the planet Earth and lay the message, not come late, not wait for the devil to say, yeah, man, boom, 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 boom. And then God come late like, yo, I just heard a fake God's been down here, everybody, and told y'all some shit. Well, what I want you to do, everybody, I want you to go and kill them people, everybody. And I want you to go and enslave the niggas until now, everybody. And also, everybody, I want you to just hate everybody. And those that don't want to join or want to leave, I want you to kill them, everybody.
I think when you think about the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran, think of it like a Harry Potter book series. Okay, there's the first, the second, and the third. I think the Quran was here way before the Christian Bible was. And remember, Christianity, the
It came
Church of England,
500 years after. It
the
came
Church,
500
the
years after.
Church of England only arose because King Henry wanted to divorce his wife. That's when we
All
split
right.
from the Catholic Church.
Okay, but listen, like the Quran come 500 years after the Bible, so God's already done come. Jesus has already been born. All that 500 years later, then the Quran come, bro. I mean,
I think the Quran
Shady.
was here before the Bible.
No, listen, 500 years after.
Civilization was in Africa and Arabia before it was in Europe.
Are you one of those people that say everybody's a Muslim? Are you one of those people that go around say everybody's a Muslim?
I'm not everybody anything. I'm just saying that Europe, the European language and books and people were after the Arabs and the Africans.
Listen, like I said, yeah, you need to go read that Quran, man. You need to really read that Quran. You know,
am I getting it wrong?
Huh?
Yoda, am I getting it wrong?
I'm not too exact on that.
See, you know, there's a lot of things you missing out, don't know,
because
and things
remember,
like that.
Europe didn't exist because the continents, Africa and Europe, were all one continent.
Listen.
It was all one continent.
Listen. The Quran came 500 years after the Bible. After Christianity was already out, live and popping.
Well, okay. Well, wait a minute. Well, now this book called Bible is actually a rendition. It's
of different things in it. Different stories.
It's a book of stories.
Put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
in Roman times.
Yeah, so what's the problem? It keeps growing. The Bible keeps growing.
No, but I'm just we've got to. None of us here are 100% on the time frame, but I can absolutely tell you that the Moors were here before the Romans, and the Moors are the Africans and the Arabs.
But yeah.
Scientifically, the first human documented allegedly was in Africa.
Right.
So Europe, remember, the Earth as we know it now looked very different in those days because the continents were all together. They split away. So there was no Europe for a white man to be sitting there with his blonde hair and blue eyes and his polar bear jacket writing Latin.
Listen. I don't know where you done your history, baby girl. Okay, but it came 500 years after that. It's all in agreement. Listen, it's a fact. Listen, Christianity, Bible, whatever you call it, was there first. It came Jesus. The whole Jesus story came boom, boom, boom. 500 years after that.
So where did the three wise men come up then? The three wise men that
you're not even letting me. You're asking questions and you're not letting me finish what I'm trying. No, stop. Because you're just talking. No, listen. Every time I'm trying to talk, you keep stopping me. Listen, Bible, Christianity, whatever you want to call it, was first. 500 years after that, the Muslim thing came.
But
that's a fact.
Sense, Evan, because the three wise men
right.
The star,
this is mine trying to say. Listen. Let me say.
Jesus was born in Bethlehem.
Listen.
How the Bible have been before the Moors?
Can somebody help me out here, please?
Because the Moors were adults and baby Jesus was being born.
Listen, Tom, 500 years, the motherfucker come out, man. Then that's that. I don't know why you don't understand that. Like, you're going to go and research this and find that down, right? And then you're going to be like, 7, you was right. And I'm going to be like, I know.
100% I am.
100%
I am.
And I'm going to be like, I know.
I have an I have an off subject question.
All right.
You guys are in the UK, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with Richie Sunak? What happened with him?
He got sacked, as in the public voted and he did not win. He is no longer prime minister.
And now, what's up with the new guy? Because I'm hearing some.
Keir Starmer. Well, Keir Starmer, who is our now prime minister, said that Joe Biden was okay. He couldn't find anything wrong with him.
Oh, so they basically he's just going to continue the program.
He's just going to continue the program. Well, actually, in Britain, he's actually doing a lot of things in Britain that are quite scary.
Like what?
Well, for example, we have a policy in the UK, whereas if you have more than 2 children, you can only get a special child benefit. Now, the government gives you X amount of money that you can claim for your children, and everyone can get it as long as they earn less than £50,000 a year. So we have a 2-child limit. So you get money for the first child, money for the second, like free money from the government for your first 2 children. And the reason that we introduced that was because a lot of Asian families are having like 18, 16 children and raking in the money.
And you say, let me just talk on that for a second. Haven't you seen what's going on? All these people are standing up all around the UK and living in America, and they're going around saying about these immigrants, get rid of them, immigrants, these immigrants. They're standing outside these places where it's full of immigrants and banging on the doors. Get out of here. We want you to leave. No, listen, this is what's going down in the UK. It's going crazy. Hold on, man. It's going crazy all around the UK, in Birmingham, in all different areas as well. People are ganging up and they're hitting the streets and they're going to these places where these immigrants are all stored in these long ass places, and they're kicking them out. They're smashing the windows. We don't want you here. Leave. Go back to where you came from. You know what I'm saying?
But Yoda, what's happened now is that Keir Starmer, the new prime minister, has stopped all of that. He said that they're not going to limit what they call child benefit.
So
they've stopped the limit. So you can have as many children as you want and you will get money from the government.
But didn't you just say you can only have 2?
Yeah, that was been the rule. The Conservatives introduced that. What was Margaret Thatcher? But they introduced that. Was it Margaret Thatcher? Yeah. There was, you can only get child benefits called in the UK, for your first 2 children. After that, the government wouldn't give you any more money for your 2 children. Whereas now, Keir Starmer, the new prime minister, has now reversed that and said he's stopping that. So there is no longer a cap on how many children the government will give you money for.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's good for them people.
Yeah. So that's number 1. Number 2, this is the thing. In the UK, if you've worked for your employer for 2 years and then they just sack you and not do it properly, you can take them to an employment tribunal and win. But you have to work for your company for 2 years to have that right. Keir Starmer has said from day 1, you have the right to take your employer to court if they sack you. Now, the reason why it's a big thing, Yoda, is because we have 3 months, 4 months, and 6 months probationary periods in the job. And at the end of that, employers can say, look, I'm really sorry, but, it hasn't worked out. We don't think it's a good fit. Bye-bye, and let you go. And there's no problem. If you do it properly, there's no problem. You failed your probationary period. So now all these companies will take on people, and if they try to fire them at the end of their probationary period, the employers will be taken to court.
That's good.
That's unfair. It's not good as an employer. I'm an employer. I employ 6 people. Not good for me.
Why isn't it good? No. Why is that not good as an employer? As long as you're not being crafty.
What happens? What happens if you go to court and they say, you fired this person unjustly? I mean, what are the ramifications?
A year's salary.
Damn.
So you have to pay them a year's salary.
Yeah.
Just give them that as a bonus as they leave anyway.
Shit, you guys got it good over there.
Yeah. And if there's any other discrimination, like, the person was black, or the person was gay, or the person was old, then they'll get even more money.
What?
You guys got some good laws over there.
Well, we in England you can have up to 28 days annual leave paid, and that's the law minimum.
Every
If you
year?
work full time, yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, we get paid holidays over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you have to take.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
but we should be getting triple that, man.
Well, if you work for the London Underground, then you'll get 62 days annual leave paid.
I saw a couple posts where Boris Johnson is still going around the world. How is he no longer prime minister and yet he's still going around? Is he part of some type of a Labour Party over there or something?
No, Conservative. You can have an MP, which is a member of Parliament. That's somebody that's voted into Parliament, but you're not in the cabinet. And the Conservatives are no longer running the country. It's the Labour Party. So we've got a completely different. The Labour Party is backed by the people and the trade unions, whereas the Conservatives are backed by the people and the wealthy aristocrats and business owners. It's like, you've got like the Democrats and the Republics.
Yeah.
The Labour is for the people, so I don't know who that would be in your country. And the Conservatives are more for business. They're all about, don't tax the rich.
What about Donald Trump? I heard he got a new fade.
Donald Trump got his ear whizzed, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was all staged, man.
I don't know if it was staged, but I tell you something that's not staged. Joe Biden, he needs his wife needs to let him go because your president's looking mighty weak out there. He's what, 81? He's like 81. How can you be running the country at 81?
Well,
You know what's scary? You know what's scary about life? How easily people can be fooled.
Yeah.
That's scary,
Well, we know Biden's not really running the country. He's just the figurehead. We know that it's all those other people that are running it. Kamala Harris is probably running the country. But, Biden confused the Ukrainian president with Putin. I mean, how many times has he fallen down the stairs and up the stairs? If that happened in England, we would talk about drugs being involved. America, you look at a bit. America, you need the beef sector.
I'm planning on getting the hell up out of here, man. I'm actually looking at I know Jamaica just had a hurricane and everything, but
right.
I'm trying to sell my house and find out one of these little islands somewhere I can go to and just do a little something to kind of ride out into the sunset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you might as well come to England. You say if you ain't got to worry about no typhoons, no hurricanes, and no rain. Well, you got to worry about rain.
Well,
you got rain.
Where?
Well, England.
Here?
Nah. He wants the sunshine. He wants to walk down the road and steal mangoes.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to go to Jamaica and start picking fruit from the trees.
Yeah, true. England's probably a bit too cold,
Yeah. Me and my daughter are going at the end of August.
What part of Jamaica?
On the West End, the Grill.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to make sure you go and visit Germantown in Jamaica, because Germantown is where the Germans were during the slavery period.
Oh my flipping God! That's the example you give. Yeah, make sure you go to Germantown because that's where the Germans was.
Hey, what the fuck? Still think black people are slaves, so you need to go there. And second place you need to go is Bob Marley's house.
Oh my God!
That's in is that in Kingston?
Yeah, I think it's Kingston.
Yeah, that's.
Don't get it. You get shot, bro. If you go there, you get shot, bro.
Jamaica's not really that
listen,
big.
don't listen to tomfoolery. She'll get you killed, man.
Go to Germantown.
Don't listen to Tom. Don't listen to Tom.
People. I watched a documentary on them. They speak with a Jamaican accent.
Documentary.
But they speak German, and they still believe that black people shouldn't mix with white people in 2024.
Listen, listen,
And they're
listen,
in
listen,
Jamaica.
listen, Tom,
Is
Tom,
that a
Tom,
bad
Tom.
thing?
Let me say something. Tom, a lot of races out there still believe in preserving their own race, you know.
Yeah, that's what
There's
I'm like.
nothing wrong with that.
Is that a
There's
bad
nothing
thing?
wrong with
But they're
that.
in
Would be a good thing for black
Jamaica.
people to do as well. Listen, Tom, let me finish, man. That would be a good thing for black people to do as well. People, we should do that, you know, so we can grow our people. You
Yeah,
understand? Because all
yeah.
this mixed matching, someone gonna die out soon. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
There's someone else gonna die out soon. You know what I'm saying?
but they're in Jamaica. It's called Germantown. They speak German. They don't want to mix with the blacks, but they live in Jamaica.
Oh.
That's the
Yeah,
point
but
I'm making.
but that's like the Chinese being in Jamaica and Africa, isn't it?
And
But
they're
they're not
white,
claiming
right?
Chinatown. They're
They're
not
white,
saying
right?
that. Yeah, spicy rice people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a
I'm going to
community of
Jamaica.
Germans in Jamaica?
Yeah, because the Germans went to Jamaica during the times of slavery, and they had their own areas and they
Okay,
had
then
their
which
own
part?
plantations.
All right, which part of Jamaica is Germans? Because I didn't see them
No,
when I was
well,
there.
there's actually a place called Germantown, and it's filled with Germans,
Yeah, but that's a
white
name.
Germans. No,
That's a
I
name, though.
Google it on YouTube, and you will see the
I'm,
people of Germantown are the leftover Germans from the days of the slavery. They ran plantations. They had
Okay.
plantations,
Let me
and
tell you
they
this,
chose to stay there.
because you're
what's
And
saying
they
what's a
slavery now.
obviously,
plantation?
Okay, hold on, Tom. Listen, now you're talking about slavery days now. I'm on about now. Are they still there now?
they're
Is the
still
Germans there
living
now?
there in 2024. They have their own city, their own town called Germantown. It's called Germantown.
And you can
And
see the white. Listen,
white
listen.
Germans saying we do not mix with the local people. They are lesser than us.
See,
In
but that's how.
2024. Oh, do you know? I'll send it to you on WhatsApp.
Okay, listen. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, hello.
Right, listen. All right, cool. They're looking after their people over there, and that will let them. You know what I'm saying?
Go do that in Germany then, babe. Don't do it in Jamaica. Guess what? Jamaicans are either Arabic Indians or Black Africans. What they are not are blonde-eyed, blue-eyed Germans.
Yeah.
It's just like the Chinese moving into Nigeria, saying that Nigeria should be renamed China 2.0.
No, it's not. Okay, listen, Tom. Right, you know, in America and in UK, we've got Chinatowns, don't we?
Yeah, we've got
Right.
Chinatown. Yeah.
Right, they have the little market, little circle, little area where they can even live. That's all that is. Okay, that's all that is.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's all that is.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up.
Germantown in
Yeah, I'm gonna look it
Jamaica.
up. Yeah.
And next time Seven goes live, if we remember, I'll ask you about it because I was shocked.
So you've been there. You've been there.
No. When I'm going in December with my son, and we're going there because we're not. I'm like, for me, it's like apartheid. You know, it's like, hold on, I'm black, I'm Jamaican. Why are you here? You're white and you're German. Why are you here? They even have German passports.
Do you have the right to ask them that?
Yes.
Why? And you're a visitor, and you're a visitor. You're a visitor, and you listen. Let me finish off my say. How we gonna have a conversation? You don't let me finish. Right? You're a visitor there, first time there of all things. If you can go up to anybody and ask them the kind of question like that, you can obviously. But what gives you the right to even look down upon them like that to ask them kind of question?
When you watch the documentary, then come back and ask me that question.
I'm gonna watch the documentary. That's why I asked the question.
No, but
Okay.
I'm saying you should. It's like Little Hitler. I was stunned.
What happened then? She just drop over and bang her head.
No, I was just stunned at
the
level of racism that they portrayed.
All the head was. I thought you dropped over. That's why I said that.
My dog was walking up her stairs.
Okay, so there's mad racism over there, and you're trying to say the Jamaicans are cool with it. They're not then pull out the shotgun and try to kill them or nothing.
The black Jamaicans aren't allowed in Germantown. That's the whole point.
Oh, now.
Yeah,
Are you? Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up.
I'm gonna have to look that up for real. I can't see that at all.
Yes.
That's
At
shit. You
all.
on
It's
our
I'm gonna
a
look
island, and
that
you
up.
community
I'm
of
telling
gonna
me
look
white,
that up.
I can't come here? Mm-mm.
German
white
town.
German, and white
I've
people.
heard about German. No, I don't believe that. All right, Tom. Okay, Tom. Cool, cool. Well, I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah,
I'll look this up.
I'll send you the link.
No, no. Listen, no. I'm gonna speak to my peoples. My dad just called from Jamaica. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna get in live commentary from it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look at no DVD. Okay. I want to find out like, and don't worry. I'll report back in. You know,
Yeah,
I'll report back in. But yeah, I need to look into that. I need to look
that's what
into
I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. But it's they're leftovers from the plantation era. So these are the sons and daughters of planters. You know, like not planters, of plantation owners. It's a
How come I've never
segregated
heard of this
community.
though? Like, how come I've never heard no white part of Jamaica being racist?
Because no black
No.
person's going to Germantown in Jamaica because of what
Listen, I've
happens.
heard
They
about
go there.
listen, black people. This, listen, I know about black Germantown. Black people talk about Germantown, so I don't get this. I don't get this. White people could. How many white people are over there? Is it like loads, thousands, or something?
No, it's a small community.
See, this is where this don't make sense.
And the Jamaicans are not allowed where they're at.
Look what they're doing with the Chinese, but they're gonna put over that.
Because the Germans make them unwelcome and unsafe.
How,
And
you're in the middle of a black island. How
that's
the
the
hell?
whole point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point I'm trying to tell you. It's not something that many people really talk about. But if, you know, when you find these things and you start doing your research, it's an old white German community that has just blocked out all the blacks and they just don't welcome blacks in their community. And they still think black people are lesser than them. And they say it in the documentaries. I've just Googled it. It's 47 minutes. But you know, there are other documentaries as well. But yeah, it's absolutely 100%
So,
true.
and this is a big community or a family.
No, it's a small community. It's, you know, maybe 500 people.
Germantown. All right, all right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it just goes to show you that, you know, black people are welcome not even in their own country. I just find it funny. You're in Jamaica and you're living in a place called Germantown in Jamaica.
Right.
But
But I don't have a Spanish town.
listen. But that don't mean nothing, really. That's a name of a town. It just shows you that the man's been there.
Yeah.
Just
So,
like many places, you can go France and see like English named towns and stuff. You can go America and see the same towns of our towns over there. So that don't really, you know. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that. Definitely, because if I find out that's true, well then I have to look into it. Because in my head, you've made it seem like there's a whole heap of racist people living in smack in the middle of Jamaica, and nobody's saying nothing. But black people in Jamaica are getting into beef with Chinese, and you can see them chasing them down with machetes and stuff. But the Germans are leaving alone. I don't.
well, you know what the Germans did, don't you?
Huh?
You know what the Germans have a history of doing?
Of
Smoking people out.
of course.
You know, black people aren't going to be messing with people that like to use ovens.
That likes to what?
Ovens. You know, Germans have a history of smoking people out.
I heard nothing but snap, crackle, and pop. Say that again.
The Germans have a history of smoking people out.
Okay.
Do you get that, Yoda? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're talking about the
Holocaust.
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think black people are going to be messing with people that like to put people in ovens?
What's that got to do with them being in Jamaica?
Germans, they have a history of disappearing people.
I think it's so funny.
I'm trying not to say it so you don't get
You know what? She's done that so cute then. They've got a history of disappearing people. You're
How many,
funny.
like 5 million people? How was it? Yeah, on a weekend.
You're funny. You're funny. You're funny.
How many Jewish people can fit into a BMW?
Say that again.
How many Jewish people can fit into a BMW?
How many? Listen, you shouldn't say the name out so loud and proud for one. You know,
How
say
many
the
of the
J. Say
JJs
J.
can? How
Uh-huh.
many of the J's can fit into a BMW?
BMW. Depends what BMW is.
Series 5.
I was squeezing 6. It depends on the midgets.
All right, let's just go with 6. Do you agree 6, Yoda?
Sure, why not?
All right, so that's 6 in the seats and 1,000 in the ashtray.
That's fucked up, man. Why would you even say that? That's fucked up. That is.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Say that again.
That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Uh, she she said, you know what? I'm not even gonna repeat it, man.
She said 6 in the seat and what?
And about 6,000 in the ashtray.
Oh.
You're going to hell for that one, you know. You got me,
Oh
God.
my
You got me, God.
God.
You got me,
Damn.
a God.
I've
Anyway,
never heard that one. That's pretty good.
that's a fresh
Damn.
one for me too. It stunned me. I had to put my ear to the phone to hear it. I was like, oh my
I thought
God,
that
you
in a
know.
Christmas
Yeah,
cracker.
that's a good one. Damn.
It's a bad joke, but you laugh.
You have to tell a Jewish person that. I like to see their
No,
reaction.
that's a hate crime.
They would headbutt the
A
shit
J
out of her.
person. Yeah.
I just snatch your wig.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know what? No, hey, listen. Let me say bye right now because this whole channel's coming down by tomorrow. Watch. I bet you I'm gonna wake up. Message from Thingy Bob. Channel being removed.
A letter from
Can't have
YouTube.
it back.
Yeah.
Fuck you, nigga. You went at the JJ's.
Do you
Like,
know,
yo,
Simon, that they're rioting in Leeds? People are rioting all over Leeds against the police. Did you know that?
writing against the police.
Yeah, in Leeds.
Yeah. Listen. You know, Tom. Listen. You're a dangerous person. You know. I've had many flags because of you.
Really?
Yep. I just haven't told you about it.
What have I done?
You know what I'm saying? So you need to just like get me. Leave the J's alone.
I'll promise not to smoke anymore.
But more time. Watch. I bet you this channel's gone tomorrow. Watch.
Oh,
Just
don't
watch.
worry.
Oh, we'll see.
You've only got 3 people listening.
No, it's not about the people. You know, YouTube does its check. You know, they get
Right.
the robots
It's
in, and
AI.
the robot. Listen. The robot scans the whole video.
Yeah. We'll see what them niggas talking about.
That's a fact. That's a fact, though. Well,
Well, they weren't
Yeah.
talking about that guy that's a convicted sex offender. He's still on YouTube. His channel's still going strong.
who?
King Curl.
King Kong.
King Curl,
I don't know who he is.
the convicted sex offender.
Yeah, what do you mean? His channel's still going
He's still
rough?
there. His channel is still going on. He's still going live. He's still in the car.
Yeah, but why?
Making
What did he?
videos.
What did he do to? What's supposed to get flagged for?
Well, he's a convicted sex offender that's failed to register.
So he's been convicted.
Yeah, he's put into prison. He was in prison for 3 years.
Oh, you're talking about that same guy from before.
Yeah, he's still
Oh,
around.
okay.
Nothing happened
See,
to
I thought you had all doubt with that man.
No, they didn't do anything. They just let him carry on and
See,
give him all of that.
I thought. See, Let me tell you my little issue with that matter, right? Because I could have swore used that was all not used that, but people were going at victim on first, and then somehow he got in the loop or said it wrong,
No,
and then it's like, and then it's like everyone started to attack him instead of Vic. Or did I get that all wrong?
No, they were attacking Vic because Vic knows that he's a convicted sex offender and he's his daughter's godfather.
Yeah.
He let this man babysit his daughter.
Right. Yeah, I understand that, but it come across to me, not just from yous, I'm just talking YouTube as well, because some people were talking about it. It came across, there was more heat for him, understandably though.
Yeah.
Understandably though, but in my head, it was like this started with Vic though. So it's like, why are y'all all basically jumping on a man that's been sentenced for it and stuff like that, and left Vic alone? No. I'm just saying how at the time, it just sounded like, it just felt like he was dodging Vic. Yeah, we're all dodging Vic and
was
giving all them.
defending him, and Vic was defending him and saying that he's done nothing wrong.
Yeah. I understand now. No, I know. Yeah, I know.
The reason why people were getting so upset with King Curl was he's supposed to be on the register for life.
Okay.
And he hadn't registered for 14 years. He just stopped registering. And
the police didn't put a search out for him.
They were looking for him, but they didn't know where to look because he's obviously not given them his current address. So that's why his driving license, he doesn't have a driving license because they took the license. Okay. And yet he's still driving around, parking outside schools, talking about whatever he's talking about.
I mean, but yeah, but now you're putting in the cat. You're just calling him a pedo in the first place.
No, I'm not calling. I've never called him a pedo. I've called him a sexual deviant because but you just
said right then that he's putting up to schools at this time. So now he's a pedo.
No,
that would make him.
No, it wouldn't, because a pedophile.
Why wouldn't it?
What pedophiles are men or women that have a sexual attraction to children or
so what age school is it?
Pre-pubescent children, right?
What age school?
So that's like from birth to like 13.
What age school?
I don't know what age school it is because
that's my point I'm trying to make, because you said school, so I'm thinking children.
Yeah, and as somebody that should be on the sex offender register in Detroit, he is not allowed to associate with anyone under the age of 18. He's not allowed to be in the company or presence of minors.
But anyway, I was right about that subject. I told y'all everyone would just go quiet on it.
Yeah.
So, it'd be top news for 2 weeks, and people won't even finish the job. It would just go dead. I said that shit.
Yeah, I lost respect for a lot of people over that. Because it would never happen like that in the UK. If we knew where an offender was living, he would be moved on.
Facts. Would have got beat up as well.
It's just that simple, We're just not. It's not even a conversation. Once we know it's true and we've got the evidence it's not a mistake, that person would be moved on. Yeah. Anyway.
Let me just say this here. That's the one thing I don't understand when it comes to all this sector stuff here. Like, people don't. This is the mad thing. Everybody checks each other in the name of content, but when somebody's doing something fucked up and he's found out about it, right, it turns into he's grown or she's grown, and they can't be checked. But on a different day, they're willing to go up on a panel and go up against blah, 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 blah. I don't get that. I don't get that.
Well, the purge is coming up, so maybe it will come up when it comes up on the purge. Maybe somebody will bring it to the purge and then he'll have to answer for it. But, I think the reason why nothing gets done in America, and quite rightly so on one hand, people have guns. It's easy to get shot, and it's easy to get a life sentence in America, and
you got that right.
So I can see why people are more reticent, whereas in England, a life sentence is 22 years, and you do half of that, and then you're out.
You guys don't have guns there, do you?
Not legal guns, no.
Okay.
I mean, there are guns. We have a gun crime problem. We have more a knife crime problem. The thing about, the other day there was a shooting, I think in East London, and in Hackney. This is true, Yoda. A place in London called Hackney. It's one of the boroughs, we call them. And
we have in Hackney there were like 2 different Turkish gangs, and a gangster, let's just call him that, on a moped or in a car, shot at a guy eating at a restaurant, and the bullets missed the target and shot a child of 9 in the head and killed 2 other people.
And they didn't catch the person?
No. But I mean, that's what you call stray bullets, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
pretty
worst
much.
of the worst.
Right.
That's the worst of the worst.
That's typically how it works too. The intended person never gets hit, and then everybody around him gets killed.
Yeah, I mean, we had another case a couple of years ago. A black activist, Sasha Johnson. You remember Seven? She was a black activist. She was at a party, a silent party. Everyone's got headphones on and listening to the music.
Right.
And 3 black guys came in, and she mysteriously got shot in the head, and no one saw or heard. I think there were 33 people at that party, and none of them saw anything.
Yeah, because that's pretty much. How often does that happen there? Like as far as gun violence?
I mean,
A
maybe
lot of the time.
once every couple of months.
A lot of the
hear
time.
about it in London. Maybe where you are, Birmingham, it might be a bit more.
It happens. It happens. It
It's
happens.
not unusual, is it, Seven? It's not as regular as knife, because every week somebody's getting stabbed. And when I say stabbed, I'm not even talking about men. I'm talking about kids from 14 to 18 getting stabbed and killed. You know, it's really got a grip on our youngsters, on our young men.
Is it gang violence or just like?
Yeah, it is gang violence.
So it's like Crips and Bloods heavy there, or?
Nah. The Crips and Bloods,
it's not Crips and Bloods. It's different.
Like there are Crips and Bloods here, but they're not repping like that. Like, you know, it's not like that, like America. But we got other gangs. We got that UK gangs that they're the ones that are going on more gangsterish. You get me? Like standing out.
Zip codes. It's like zip codes.
Yeah, zip codes and area codes, just like you got in America. Like you've got you know how you got blocks. Like you got a gang on one block, you got another block there, different. It's like that. It's like that kind of thing. Well, zip codes.
And it's just that it's soul destroying that it's young black men that are being murdered, you know, that haven't even started to live their life, and they carry these knives out of fear and to protect themselves. So it's that same argument. If you've got a gun for protection, be prepared to use it. Do you know what I mean? But this is, I mean, some of these, I mean, thank God, you know, I don't have a young boy, you know, as a son, because I would be frightened for him. And to stab someone, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen the program Supercell, Seven, Yoda?
Superstar.
Supercell. Oh, you've got to watch it on Netflix.
Oh, I've been watching a little bit of it. I started watching a bit of it.
Yeah, I heard somebody else mention that.
Yeah, that was Jay from Jersey. I watched it after you said that. I started to watch it.
It was fantastic. But in one of the episodes, it's got a guy, like, obviously it's acting, but stabbing someone. And he's stabbing the guy like 30 times. And when you see it in movies, like how the man's hand is moving, it shocks you how much 30 stab knife wounds is to a person's body. I was like, what? That's what it's like in seconds.
Like that, huh?
Yeah, it's like, and you're covered in blood. I was like, what? How can you go home and then your mother just washes the clothes in the washing machine? It's like, how? Do you know what I mean? It's like, how? I would look at my son and be like, no, I have to phone the police. I can't cover that up.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, gentlemen, I'm going to step down now. I've got to take the dog out.
Yeah, I'm going to go myself.
But I've had a really pleasant evening with both of you. Yoda, I'm going to be looking up Nation of Islam and seeing if I can find the errors in its ways.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to look up
do you-
Germantown.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
And you both, so we've all got a bit of homework, yeah?
Yeah. Gotcha. Good deal. All right, old chaps. Nice
All
chatting
right.
with y'all. I'll catch
take
you
care.
guys
Stay
later
safe.
All right, blessings.
You
Thanks
too.
for coming up,
on. All
bro.
right, 7. Yeah, no problem, man. Peace.
All right, peace, 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 peace. You too, Shady. Blesses. You understand? Okay, she jumped off too, real quick. All right, boom. One song and I'm out. Blesses everybody. I'm mad tired. Got gym in the morning.
It's a time for war. AOC, yeah. What's going on? I got strapped, son. At the gap, son. OC, it's a time for war. Hey yo, your son is up on the plate. Told you don't be late. What about the gate? 10 o'clock in the morning, that's early, son. Why you come so early with the sun out? Yeah, you must be dumb, stupid juice. Come at night so I can fight you loose. We ain't get to worry about feds turning up, cause I surely trust you'll be dead. When I'm done, jump on the head top. Make sure everybody don't go for cop. Only people outside at night are the ones that are willing to come and fight, yo. Come and fight, yo. Moving so right, yo. You be on the internet all the time, yo. Talking out loud and proud and coming out in the day and shouting, shouting. What's going on, though? Are we really gonna go stand toe to toe? Or you wanna keep talking on the radio? I mean, YouTube streets, you know how we go. I suggest that you take it slow. We are old folks. I was supposed to promoting, showing people that we don't do this dumb thing. But if you wanna come out on that fun thing, ZX wants that beef, so we say, and he wants that beef. All this talking on the YouTube goddamn streets, and they live on the same goddamn street. Might as well go out for a meet and greet, have something to eat, some fun and treats. But they don't wanna do that, I don't know why. They wanna act like they're so goddamn fly. I guess get yes, interesting. You better come with your bulletproof vest and show relaxing, stressing. I feel God has blessed me. I will surely take out the belly. One shot straight into the head, that's the head top. Make sure you drop and hot stop. Yeah, and your heart stop. Don't bother come round talking that shit no more. Sitting on these YouTube streets trying to settle the score. One day